Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 87 of the Clockwork Cantina. I am one of your hosts, Josh902, and this is our other host.
I'm DT3. What's up, guys? What's going
What's
on?
what is up, guys? We're gonna be talking about Shang-Chi today in the second half of the
Yes.
show. We've been like Daniel and I haven't really been talking about it too much, like to each other, or
Yeah.
really, I think in the Discords either. Like we're saving our thoughts for the podcast. So you guys
Yeah.
are gonna
I
get
know.
like
I know. I have. Yeah.
I've been holding back. Like when Jake is like asking me, he's like, "How describe the fighting, describe the music," and I'm like, all right, I'm like, trying before he went and saw it, which he finally went and saw
It's
it.
all
So
good, man. It's all good. We're
yeah,
gonna, we're today's the day.
yeah. So that'll be at the second half of the show, and we'll probably be spending quite a bit of time on it, I'd imagine. Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
oh God, I clicked a thing. Oh God, that's fine too. Actually, let's do that. Okay. Um. Uh. Sometimes you'll grab something by accident and fuck everything up, which is what I just did.
Hmm.
Anywho, um, we got some news and stuff to go over, but before we get started, we usually talk about what we've been up to the past week. Daniel usually goes first. However, I'm going to jump in because I only have like three things, and then mine will be
Go
over
for it.
really super quick. Um, so for those of you that have been watching the podcast past couple of weeks have known that I have been deep into Pathfinder Kingmaker. Well, guys, I got good news. I completed the game yesterday. Yesterday
There you
evening,
go.
I hit the final stretch at 5 p.m. and didn't finish it till like I don't know 8 or 9. I was like, God, this final stretch is long. In total, it took me 130 hours, almost 131 hours, for one complete playthrough, doing everything I came across. Um, I highly recommend Kingmaker or Pathfinder Kingmaker if you haven't played it and can get it on you can get it on the cheap. And the Wrath of the Righteous, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, the sequel to Kingmaker, has come out, and I have it as well. And I was messing around with it a little bit earlier, but I wasn't really like playing it. I bought it, and then I was like, I want to finish Kingmaker. So I just did like character creation and hopped in for a couple hours, see what was different. The biggest difference between the two is like in Kingmaker, you can't rotate your camera, or at least if you can, I didn't know how. But in Wrath of the Righteous, you can rotate any which direction you want. So I noticed that immediately. Um, the other thing I've been up to, I played a little bit of Fall Guys. Like just hopped in with Daniel and Paula for a little bit, and then I hopped out. And we watched the newest episode of Heels, which continues to be a good show, which I recommend people checking out. So those are like the three things I've been up to. Mostly it's been Pathfinder Kingmaker. That game had took over my life for fucking 2.5 weeks, like every day, like no shit. Played it like it's a full-time job. And that's pretty much it. Daniel, what have you been up to
I've been up
past
to a
week?
lot. Um. Uh. Been watching a lot of things. Been playing some things. I tried out the I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but we tried out the Phasmo update, Phasmophobia update, changed it up a lot. I played a bit more of that with some friends. That's always fun when you play with friends. I started playing Lego The Incredibles on stream. I'm gonna be continuing that tomorrow probably. So that's been pretty fun. It's I got the itch to play Lego games again after watching the new trailer for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, the new game coming out next year. So that kind of made me want to play some of the ones that I haven't played yet, like the Incredibles one that I'm playing through right now. So I am doing that. I watched this episode of Marvel's What If. It was the Doctor Strange Supreme episode, and wow, yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen it and you're listening to this or watching this, man, that it is one of the darkest fucking if you wonder just how dark Marvel can get, I think that's a pretty good indication of what they can do. So I definitely check it out if you haven't. Like I'm not gonna say anything other than that. Just go watch it, go check it out. It's great. Um Disney Plus came out with a new show called Doug Days, and it is based off the or it's a kind of like a continuation of the Pixar movie Up. And with Ed Asner's like recent passing, I decided to check it out because he plays the character of Carl in the Up stuff, and yeah, they brought him back for that as well. So he was in those few of those episodes, and it was cool checking that out and seeing that. Then I've been keeping up with the Monsters Inc. show as well. Monsters at Work, watch that. Pretty cool if you're into that kind of stuff, I would say. I watched a few movies, quite a few movies actually. I watched Dolomite is My Name, which I've been wanting to watch. It's the Eddie Murphy. Uh, blah, blah, blah. It's an Eddie Murphy movie, uh, and it came out. I want to say like 2 years ago. I've been wanting to check it out, and I just did. It's kind of like a. So there's a movie from the 70s called Dolomite, right? And they this movie is kind of like a what is it? Like a comedic like biography type of thing off of the off of Dolomite, whose real name was Rudy Ray Moore. Uh and again, it's Eddie Murphy plays the main character, and then you got like Wesley Snipes in there, which I thought were both of those guys were amazing in this movie. But it's pretty good. Go check it out if you haven't. If you're interested in that, I'd recommend it. It was pretty solid. I watched the Netflix movie The King, which has a pretty solid cast in it, but overall, I was just kind of like very with it. I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I thought it was whatever. Like I wasn't super uh like crazy over it. It was fine. It was fine. But yeah, it had like Timothy Chalamet and Robert Pattinson, Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris. Funnily enough, quite a few of these guys, like Joel Edgerton and Sean Harris, are also in another movie that I recently watched, which is The Green Knight.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Like it was interesting seeing how like some of these people crossed over from one movie to another. Like that, like oh, these guys would be good in these types of movies. They kind of no, I don't want to say typecast, but it's like, oh, all right, cool. We'll have, it was just interesting again, like watching both movies recently and then seeing, you know, several of the same people in similar kind of movies. But watch that. I watched The Breakfast Club for the very first time ever. Um, I know it's one of those classic John Hughes movies that everybody loves. I
Don't
thought it was all right.
you
Yeah,
forget
forget
about
about
me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched it all for the first time. Like I'd seen bits and pieces of it in the past, but I've never like sat down and watched it from start to finish. So I finally did that. I thought it was okay, but I don't know. Like it just I think it's just one of those things where like I just watched it too late. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
it
like
doesn't
that was a
it it doesn't hit with me like it would people who watched it like when it first came out or when they were
yeah,
younger or whatever. You know what I mean? So
it was a different
it's
time.
fine. It definitely was. Dude, that movie would be problematic if it was made nowadays, bro. They do
Yeah.
some shit in that movie where you're like, that would not fly today in any capacity. In any capacity, like they do some shit in that movie that, yeah, it wouldn't work today, nowadays. But somehow that movie still remains a one that people love and it's a classic and everybody talks about it and all that stuff, which is fine. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was okay, but yeah, and then I watched Sonic the Hedgehog finally for the first time. I surprisingly enjoyed it. I first of all, I'm not really like the biggest Sonic fan. Like I don't really play any of the games a whole lot. Like I played some of them back in the day, but like I never was like a huge like I'm not like a huge Sonic fan or anything, but
Yeah.
I was like, let's watch this, let's check it out. I thought it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. I didn't mind it, man. I actually, yeah, I thought it was okay. So it's interesting to see what they're gonna do with the second one now that we know that's confirmed. Um, I watched the Bob Ross Happy Accidents and Betrayal and Greed documentary on Netflix, and dude, that shit is nuts. I think
Yeah.
Josh talked about watching that one last week, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta check it out this week. And dude, there is some crazy shit going on or happened there. I learned some stuff. So it was very educational and very interesting and very fucked up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we all
it's
like we grew
nuts.
up like even nowadays. Bob Ross is like
I mean, he's on. They have like a
everybody.
Bob Ross Twitch channel and stuff.
Everybody
People
knows Bob
watch
Ross,
and
right? So like,
yeah,
uh, so that documentary was very interesting to watch, and I recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. Just there's some heartbreaking shit in there. So
yeah, it's pretty messed up. So definitely go. I would recommend that one as well. Um, Josh mentioned we watched Heels. That was incredible. That show continues to just be so good. I I feel like I enjoy each episode more and more. Kind of like I don't know how
yeah,
certain stuff can do that. Like it just continues to be great. Like it's a very good show. I go watch it. Go check it out. It's on Stars. Go. It's great time. Also play yeah, like Josh mentioned earlier as well. Played some Fall Guys. Um, I was given. I was very fortunate to have been given a key to the game called Lake from the good people over at Whitethorn Games, and I actually had a lot of fun with that game. It took me about 6 hours to play from start to finish. It is like a very chill, calming, relaxing, like mm, essentially it's a mail delivery game, but also a little bit more than that. Like it's set in the 80s as well, 1986, and it's about this woman named Meredith Weiss who runs away from the big city she's living in to go back to her quiet and small hometown of Providence Oaks, Oregon. So she goes for about 2 weeks to take over for her pops as the mail person for the little town. And you go around delivering mail and reconnecting with people from your past and meeting, the new people that are there now and just catching up and that kind of stuff. And it was fun. It was a nice change of pace from the typical stuff that I usually play.
mm-hmm.
So I had fun with it. It's a cool little adventure indie game. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, definitely go check that out. I recommend it. It's a very beautiful game too, like visually, like and then the art style is great too. So I had an absolute blast playing that game. So thank you again to the people at Whitethorn Games for hooking your boy up with a copy of that. That was a very wholesome uh relaxing, calm, chill game. And another thing about that one is that it has replayability because there are multiple endings. There's multiple ways you can go about it. So it has its replayability. So definitely give that a shot if that seems like something you'd be into. Because I had a good time with it. Last couple things I hopped on like the old Republic for like for like a couple minutes just to see what the new updates were. Like I wanted to check out the new like the new Mandalorian inspired Beskar spear that they had in the game, and they had like Obi-Wan Kenobi type robes into the
I
game
want
as
those
well.
robes, dude. I love them. Like I'm gonna
They
get
look
them.
so cool. Yeah, I want to get them eventually as
I
well.
just love how like they're simple, but like they look good. Like it's
Yeah,
not like there's
yeah,
some things in that game are like here's this you got spikes on
There's
all this armor, and it's ridiculous, and everything
there's a
moves.
lot of stuff in that game that's super extra, and I like some of it is okay. Like I don't necessarily mind the Jedi armor, but it's
Hmm.
not my favorite. I've always been more of a fan of like the typical traditional Jedi robes.
Yeah,
So that appeals more to me. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I some stuff like again, like certain Jedi armor and certain things like that, it's kind of cool. It's just like you said, when they get a little overboard with it, it's like shoulder pads and fucking spikes and like all this crazy shit that like looks kind of silly.
you
You're
look
like,
like you'd
I
be in the
don't.
NFL with that on, that kind
Yeah,
of
you
stuff.
look like you look like a fucking a football player in Warcraft or or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you don't need all that. So yeah, it was seeing something like that is great. I think. So yeah, I hope to get that at some point. And I'm excited to actually play some Old Republic when it's time. When the new update comes out. And then I started playing. Well, we were chilling in the voice chat, and then our good friend Juan popped in and was like, "Yo, we should try this game out called Polygon. It's like a FPS. It's like a free to play FPS that um takes a little bit to get like the hang of at the beginning with the shooting and stuff because it's not like you look at it and you're like, oh, this is a silly looking game that I mean it's called Polygon for fuck's sake. Like it's you look at it and you're like, well, this is kind of. But man, let me tell you, I haven't played it. Like you got to kind of get the hang of it, especially with the shooting, because like your primary weapon you start off with is like an AK, but you have so many you have so much recoil. You're gonna have to like, you can't just like spray, dude. You gotta have to like, you have to like, uh, you have to kind of go burst mode, even though it's like a full auto. You gotta be careful with your shots because it's tough. And then like another thing is, I don't even. There were times where I didn't even know where the hell I was getting shot at. I was like, where? Who's shooting me from where? So I like me some FPSs from time to time. So I like I like to try out new ones and play them and all that good stuff. So that one was interesting. I might try out more of that in a bit, or not in a bit, but like within the next week from until the next episode of the podcast. But anyway, yeah, that I'll be trying that out more for sure. And then after a very long time, after a very long hiatus, I have finally decided to continue and resume my Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood watch. I started it forever ago. I kind of took a bit of a long break watching it, and now here I am. I'm in the end game. I'm almost done with it. I've been binging it the past several nights, and I'm happy to report that I am on the last five episodes of the show. So I am nearly done with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are nearing the end, and I there is some crazy shit going on. There's people dying and getting injured, and it's fucking there I don't want to say it because spoilers, but there's some crazy shit going on right now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the last five, dude. It's gonna be crazy. I by this time next week when we do the next episode, I'm gonna be done with the show probably. Well, not probably, I will be, because again, it's only five episodes. I can knock that out like in a night. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we'll definitely be done with that. And then I'm wondering which anime I should do next, because there's a lot of classic ones that I haven't seen yet. Like obviously that one. Um, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one that I've been meaning to watch for a long time. I started forever ago, and I'm just now like getting ready to finish it. So there's other ones like Cowboy Bebop that I've never seen that I want to watch. Fucking Berserk, and I got like a list of anime that I want to get to and stuff. So I need to decide what I want to watch next. But for right now, we are nearly done with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So that's where I'm at, and that's what I've been up to. I've been watching a lot of movies, man. It feels good to watch more movies again because I love it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of my absolute favorites. Might be my absolute favorite
Oh, really?
anime. I haven't watched anime in a very long time. Other than
Mhm.
like, I'll try this random thing that's on Netflix and I probably won't like it. You know, and I used to be. I used to watch a lot back in the back. I don't know when I was like 16, 17 ish, but it's been a long time since I got
Yeah,
into it.
that's why that's why I kind of wanted to go back to my Full Metal watch, because I'm like, well, I want to watch some more anime, but like I still haven't finished this one, so I need to commit to finishing that one.
Yeah,
And I've been doing it, so we're almost done. I want to watch more. It's been a while since I've seen that. I kind of get in like bursts of like wanting to watch anime. It's like I get in the mood of wanting to watch it, and then I like won't watch it for a while, and then I'm like, all right, let's watch some more again. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I want to watch more, but we got to finish Full Metal Alchemist. But like I said,
yeah.
almost there. So
Oh yeah, buddy, finish that up. It's a hell of a ride. I enjoyed that
yep,
one.
yep. Like I said, 5 more to go, man. I'm nearly there.
All right, that's what we've been up to, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We can move right into the news, and we have a bit. I threw some stuff in here last night. I know Daniel went through and threw some stuff in here last night. So
Yep.
let us hit it, shall we? What's up first, Daniel?
Let's do it. So the first thing news we have here today is uh so last week we had Gamescom and they announced some stuff, and one of the things they announced was Marvel's Midnight Suns. And we also said last week how they were going to have a gameplay reveal uh for it after, and we now have that. So that's what we're going to be watching here. The
We're gonna
gameplay
throw it on.
reveal
I have
for
not watched this
Marvel's
yet.
Midnight Suns. Oh,
Have you
okay.
watched this yet?
Interesting. I have. I watched it once.
I saw a piece of it, but not the
Okay.
entire thing.
All right, well, here we go.
So
Firaxis
let's
Games.
so let's play. I'm gonna play an audio for this, guys.
How long was I in that crypt?
No more than a few centuries.
Centuries?
Hmm.
And what of Lilith?
Showing a bit of the
Followed
story
by
here.
Your hand. Until now. You were missed.
Whatever caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Caretaker.
That bad guy is creepy looking. Bad being, demon, person.
Demons.
Diamonds.
Has reformed the Midnight Suns.
About time.
It's
You're
your
a
boy
Midnight
Blade.
Sun now. One of us.
When I'll be honest with you, the default main character that they're using for this makes me think of Lara Croft. Lara Croft, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like,
Let's go, bub.
Fucking, they're gonna somebody's gonna make a what if episode off of that. What if Lara Croft was an Avenger? Or
right?
whatever. She like takes over for Black Widow after Black Widow, or whatever. I don't know.
So I do know that they're using a card system for battles.
Card system, yeah.
Which is an interesting
I was
take
gonna say,
on
what do
it.
you think of that? Because it is different from XCOM.
I think some people. So based on what I know from it, is like, I loved Slay the Spire, and I
Yeah.
play it on my Switch all the time. Even now, I'll hop on and do Slay the Spire. It's a fantastic game. And what I'm getting out of this gameplay trailer is that it's kind of like that. It's kind of Slay the Spire-ish. Some people were like, "Oh my god, it's like Hearthstone," which I don't get that. That's not what this is to me.
Because it's a card game. Like, all right, it's gotta be like that one other card game that really pops.
So what this gameplay trailer showed me is that oh, there's a little bit at the end.
Style.
The one thing I will say about this trailer real quick is that it has a very abrupt ending. It's like Blade's talking and then it's over. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Kind of fast. But anyway, go ahead and
Um.
continue your thoughts.
But yeah, it was like what it showed us is that this isn't XCOM. Like everybody's like, this is this XCOM game. It
Yeah.
it is in like you got boots on the ground and they're fighting bad guys, but that's like seems to be like where it ends at. Is like kind of like that. They're going for like the moves seem to be very cinematic. They're gonna have combo moves and stuff like that, and they're using cards. Um, I know some people are probably gonna be a little turned off by that, but like they haven't. And what they've said is like our second part of the news, because there's two things in here about Marvel Midnight Suns. Was that
Yeah.
people are afraid about loot boxes and microtransactions. People were afraid, oh god, we're gonna have to buy card packs and things like that. But they
Yeah.
tweeted out a little bit about that. They said, hey folks, regarding our battle card system, there are no loot boxes in Marvel's Midnight Suns or related microtransaction to get more cards. We will have purely cosmetic character skins for purchases that do not affect game balance in any way. So that is what they're saying about microtransactions. You're not gonna have to buy loot boxes or cards or any of that crap. That's prevalent in those types of games. They're saying their microtransactions are gonna be purely cosmetic, just like skins that you can buy. Which I think from Firaxis is usually pretty good about their DLC stuff. Like XCOM has some, but it doesn't really change a whole lot. There's some that add a lot to the game, like campaigns. There was the ones that added the big boss monsters to some stuff, but for the most part, their microtransactions are fine. So if they're just gonna do cosmetic skins, hey, that's cool. I'm fine with that. I think the card system is going to be fine. I think we need to see more of it. I think we need a better understanding of how it works. How do we combo off and like do combo attacks with the cards and stuff like that? But I think there's probably more here that we're not seeing that I'm kind of curious about. So the fact that it's a card battling dealio, or you use cards to do attacks rather, I don't even think it's a card battler necessarily. Like you just use cards to do attacks. I think that's fine. What do you think on it, Daniel? I know you're not like a card guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not really a card game kind of person, but I think the way that they're doing it in this game is gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, based off that little small amount of gameplay that we saw, I think it'll be fine. Like I don't know why, it'll be okay. It's not Hearthstone. It's not any of this other shit. People need to calm down, relax. And then in terms of the microtransaction thing, yeah, I mean I always say that like if it's just like cosmetic stuff, then I don't it's fine. I don't really mind it. So that
I
is
am
also
curious.
fine with me.
I would love to ask a developer why they went with a card battling system. What is their reasoning for going with that? There may be an article out there about it that I haven't seen yet, but I am kind of curious to like why they went that direction with it. I'm sure they probably have some fantastic answers on why they did it that way.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I haven't really seen one either, but yeah, maybe there's one out there that we just missed and haven't seen yet.
people, I don't think anybody was expecting that. I think I was watching JP's channel. They were doing like drop frames when they showed it, and he was like taking a break, and he talked about the trailer and was like, "Oh, it's a card game." Like I don't know if anybody expected that. But yeah, it's definitely like I don't know if I would have went with a card battler, but there's probably things that we don't know about for a reason that they went with it, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I mean we'll find out eventually, but yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's a big deal. Like it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So yeah, I mean the game looks pretty cool. Definitely be keeping an eye on that for the future. Comes out next year, right?
yes, I believe it has like a rough date. I thought for like March-ish.
It's like yeah, I want to say it's like Q1 or Q2 or something like that. Probably Q1.
Oh, tomorrow they're having a thing. Watch the Hunter and Wolverine take on Sabretooth September 7th at 11:30 a.m. PT. So they're gonna have like a
Okay.
thing.
Cool. So
Oh
at
yeah,
the
and it
time
says
of this,
coming March, by the way. Next year.
okay, so March, yeah. So yeah, at the time of this recording, which is September 6th, 2021, tomorrow, the 7th, is going to be some more stuff to look at. So check that out.
Also, I didn't realize my
okay.
camera was off center. Here, fix that. Stop it.
All right. Moving on to the
Next,
next thing.
yeah.
We have a trailer for Ghost of Tsushima Legends Prove Yourself in the Rivals mode trailer. So here you go.
Let's get that up.
Check that out. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds long.
Let's play.
So they've been recently, they recently came out with the director's cut a couple weeks ago, and they have a new Prove Yourself Rivals mode, where I guess I think it's like 2v2 type thing. You and someone else co-op against rivals and defeating enemies, and then like you can do stuff to like stagger each other and like fuck each other up.
That's cool.
You gotta collect Magatama, and yeah, it's like I said, it's like a PvPvE kind of deal.
Buy curses to hurt your rivals, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm not super into like PvP-ish stuff. Usually, I usually like playing.
Either necessarily. I kind of more into the co-op kind of stuff myself.
Mhm.
But I mean, this is
It's cool
for
that they're
people who
adding
are
it.
interested in that.
It's
Yeah.
I like that they're continuing to add things to Ghost of Tsushima and are supporting the multiplayer stuff, which is something people wanted at release. So
Yeah, I know. I definitely did. Like I remember we always talked about like wanting the Legends mode before it actually happened. So it was really, really cool.
But yeah, that's neat. I'm glad that they're adding stuff to that. I haven't had a chance to check out the director's cut yet, but I want to.
I haven't either because the main reason why, to be honest, is because like I've debated whether I should just get the PS4 version, which is what I currently have. That's what I bought the game on, and just play it that way, or if I should just wait till I get a PS5 and just do the upgrade. And
You
do it
know
like
what?
That, you know,
I'm
that's
the
my
same.
biggest reason for not playing it yet.
I'm the same. If I could get my hands on a PS5 right now, I would have done it already. But it's almost impossible. We got chip shortages. We got scalpers. We got all this fucking shit going. We got
It's just a bad time, man.
shipping is all fucked up everywhere. Like just everything's messed up right now.
Yeah, it's kind of rough to right now. But hey, it it is what it is. Eventually, it'll happen. So.
Yeah, we'll get one eventually. There's really no rush. Like there's
I
always
mean,
a dry
not
spell
really.
when there's nothing coming out that we can always go back and be like, all right, I got time right now. I'll do the Ghost of Tsushima thing.
Yeah, like really, there's only a few games that I would even want to play right now on PS5 anyway, so I'm not too pressed about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up, we have a trailer and also a little blog post about No Man's Sky's Frontier.
Let's check out this trailer, guys.
So let's go ahead and check that out.
It's like every couple of months, here's a No Man's Sky thing. Here's a No Man's Sky thing. I love these guys, man. Like, like they've really come back. Let's check this out. Every planet unexplored. Let's get our music on. Here we go.
Look at that. Those are some good looking interiors. I like it.
Yeah. That looks like some fucking Star Wars shit.
It does, yeah.
Then you walk out, fucking giant city, man. Look at it, planetary settlements. Wow, that's cool.
So cool, dude.
250 plus new base parts. Hell yeah. Town NPC simulation, huh? Become settlement overseer. Monstrous companions. Improved visual effects. When are we gonna make our Star Wars Western town, Daniel? Let's do it.
Dude, let's do it. I gotta reinstall the game, man.
I
get
think I
down,
have to
bro.
reinstall it too, but I'm down. No Man's Sky is fucking fun.
It is. I mean, look at these locations, man. They look beautiful, dude. I haven't played it since you can like get these big mounts and all this other stuff, man. Like it's so cool.
It's really dope that they've added settlements. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you could always have a little base, but this is like, this has settlements. This has people. This is alive kind of deal.
Yeah. That looks fun, man. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Definitely would like to try that out.
Same. Hats off to those guys. Those guys worked their ass off, so they deserve all the respect that you can give them.
Yeah.
They've come so far. We talk about it every time it's on the we do a show with the No Man's Sky. Like, they've come so far. Like, yeah. All right.
Yeah. So we have a little blog post as well
All right.
on the PlayStation blog where they talk about Frontiers, No Man's Sky's 17th free update. So in this huge update, they're focusing on improving base building and introducing occupied settlements on planets. So clusters of pioneering aliens have banded together to build planetary settlements. These little communities, bustling with life and promise, can now be found on all inhabited planets across the galaxy. Submit your management credentials to become overseer of a settlement, rename it, and assume leadership over its citizens. The settler population will look to you for town planning, treasury management, policy decisions, and conflict resolution. Every settlement is procedurally generated with unique buildings, neighborhood layouts, color schemes, interior and exterior decoration. Ungoverned settlements start off small and modest with a sparse population and only a few buildings scattered around their town center. Provide resources to construct new buildings and transform your ramshackle collection of dwellings into a flourishing town. Settlement life is not always harmonious. As an overseer, you will occasionally be called upon to resolve disagreements between settlers. Fair and compassionate judgments will result in happier citizens. They have hundreds of new base parts. Construct your own settlement-inspired bases with huge array of new base parts. New structural sets of timber, stone, and alloy pieces to create a tremendous range of possible building shapes. Over 100 new decorative parts create all new ways to add personal character to bases. They have a new expedition season. Travelers will begin their journey with a technologically unique starship featuring an advanced waveform engine and powerful frameship catapult. Breathtaking nebulas, this is part of the new visuals that they've added, have gathered deep in space. Interstellar clouds have gathered deep in space to form spectacular multicolored nebulas, making space skies more beautiful than ever. Enhanced effects. All of the game's visual effects have been revisited, revamped, and improved. Weapons and explosions feel much more punchy and add new visceral element to combat. Base building improvements, including a clean, minimal, contextual HUD to place, scale, rotate, and recolor base parts. See all your building parts in an easy to parse grid. You'll notice some you forgot about. You can now pick up and move base parts you placed, duplicate parts, or build impossible new structures in free place mode. This is interesting to me because I remember when we used to play this game quite a bit, and we would like go to planets to like, we'd be like, oh, this is the money planet because we can mine crystals here and stuff, right? And we'd set up like a little mini outpost or a little mini base or whatever, just so we can know where it is and go back to it at any time. So when I remember building stuff like that, but certain, like when you try to like build things in this game in the past, it was kind of janky because it's like the terrain is not all the way flat, or like something would kind of fuck you up from trying to make it the way you wanted to make it. So I'm curious if with this new update and with these things that I'm reading here, is that if that's gonna look different at all, the stuff that you've built in the past, and like how easy it is gonna be to like change and alter those already made things, because it'd be nice if you could just like, because building something from scratch is cool when you have nothing, but like when you already have something there, you kind of like, well, you know, I already got the stuff here. You know, it'd be nice if I could just tweak a couple things here and there to make it, you know, fit in better or look better. So that's what I'm curious about. And then there's gonna be a Twitch campaign. So coming soon, another round of No Man's Sky rewards will be available or earned by watching streamers play the game on Twitch. So that'll be cool. But yeah, that's the Frontiers No Man's Sky Frontiers PlayStation blog post. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I might have to reinstall the game, and then maybe I'll play some of that on stream. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Indeed it would. Indeed it would. Yeah. Okay. The next thing we have here is a official trailer for Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge: Last Call. So I know none of us either of us use VR. This is a VR game for the Oculus Quest, but I think it's cool because you know we both like Star Wars here, and it's just you know interesting seeing what are some of the things that they're doing with VR. You know, because like
Yeah.
I don't have VR right now because you know first of all it's expensive, and then second of all, you know I think I can speak for Josh and I on this that we're kind of just waiting for it to kind of get to the like VR is not you know it can still improve.
Yeah, it's got a
So,
ways to
you know,
go.
Yeah, we're you know it's nice to see like how improvements that they do on it every once in a while as
Yeah.
it continues to get better and better. So it's cool seeing stuff like this just so we can see like you know how far they've come and how you know much more they still need to go. So it's cool. It's just interesting seeing stuff like this. And this is one of those Star Wars games where they have a kind of a story to it, I suppose, but they're kind of like little well they call them tales here, I guess. So they're like little short stories, I would imagine.
Make us grow.
But it's kind of cool, like the stuff where like you have to like build your own lightsaber, and then you know that kind of stuff looks kind of fun. I feel like it'd be cool to play as in VR.
Oh my god. Playing an IG
Come on.
unit, look at that. I mean,
It'll be a
Yep.
fight the entire way up.
I think VR's neat, but man, I need it to be cheaper and I need it to be like in a smaller space.
Is lawless. To control that chaos. What do we call that?
Honestly, looking at this, it makes me think you're gonna laugh. It kind of makes me think of Star Wars Galaxies when they show like the characters and stuff, and like people like chatting to you. It just makes me think of it for some reason.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see how you.
This little
Yeah,
tease
I actually would kind of agree with you on that. I think like they kind of have the same ish kind of look and vibe, maybe. Like I don't know.
Yeah, there's something about it that's kind
I
of
can
making me
see
think
it.
of it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I mean, it obviously looks better than Galaxies because Galaxies is old, but there was definitely something there.
Yeah,
It's
no,
making me think.
I see it for sure.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see. You know, that comes out on September 15th for those of you with the Oculus. So there you go.
All right. Next up, we have a headline here that the Stardew Valley creator, it's an article by Eurogamer, Stardew Valley creator doesn't know if there will be another update. He's focusing on the next game. So it's an article over on Eurogamer. I just threw it in here because like we play Stardew Valley. I feel like we mostly do co-op and stuff and like have all our farms and it's fun. But here's what the article says. It says the creator of Stardew Valley doesn't know if there will be another update, saying he's focused on his next game. Speaking with Zach Unsurpassables Hartman on Twitch at the end of the first official Stardew Valley Cup, Eric Concerned Ape answered a handful of questions from the community, one of which was about mods that let many players marry non-manager. Yeah. Where was the question that I'm looking for here? Okay, here it is. He says, "I'm not saying there's going to be another Stardew Valley update. I don't even know at this point. Right now, I am focused on my next game, so we'll see." The last Stardew Valley update was last year. It was the game's biggest yet, adding the Ginger Island location and the beach farm layout. Since then, players have wondered whether 1.6 update was in the works, but it sounds like the Concerned Ape is done with Stardew Valley for the time being, which is understandable considering he's been working on it for a decade.
Damn. Wait,
Uh,
really? Has that game been out that long?
I think it has.
Well, if that's the case, then I totally understand him wanting to move on finally from this.
Let's see what else it says. It says, "So what's this new game?" Then he touched on it briefly during the Q&A to say he may announce it soon, saying, in quotes, "I may announce it fairly soon. What it is, no one knows at this point," he said. "What I will say is that it's another pixel art game, a top-down perspective similar to Stardew Valley, and in some ways it is kind of similar to Stardew Valley. But it is not a farming game. It is something different." So a little bit in there for Concerned Ape and Stardew Valley, and
Cool. Yeah.
uh,
I'm actually curious to see what he does next because
I
Stardew is
am
fun
also.
and it's cool, but that's one of those things where like I'd rather play like co-op with like other people. Like it's
Mhm.
all right. Like it's fine playing it alone, but I'd rather play it with other people. So I'd be curious to see what he does next, man. Yeah. So I'm looking at the like Steam, and the game was released in 2016. But if for one guy to be working on a game like that, it makes sense that he's been working on it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So
I think it
yeah,
also had an early
yeah,
access period, but I'm not sure. I could be making that completely up.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll see what he does next. I'm curious.
I'm
So
also curious. Um, the dude made bank, but he worked his ass off to do it. So,
yeah,
um, next up will be a quick little thing. If you're using Windows, the Windows 11, the next big Windows, will be available on October 5th. You can read all about it over at thewindows.com. So I threw that on here just for those of you that are interested in Windows 11. I think they're going to offer it as a free upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade right away because it'll fuck everything up, I'm sure. It always happens. So I just threw that in here because it is part of like, hey, Windows.
yeah, for sure, yeah. So October 5th. All right, that's about a month away, fellers.
Mm-hmm.
About a month away for
We'll let
the
those
for the
other,
new Windows.
we'll let all those other fools update, and then when they fuck something up, we'll sit there and laugh at them. Next up, we have You're Invited, the PlayStation Showcase 2021 broadcast this Thursday, by the way. Not next Thursday, like it says in the article. It's this Thursday,
This Thursday.
which is the 9th, I believe.
It is the 9th. It will be 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. BST. This just also means 4 p.m. Eastern. So I probably will be streaming this.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to come check it out, I'll be streaming it, and we'll watch together live, and then we'll talk about it
Let's see.
on the following upcoming podcast coming up here next week.
It'll be a look into the future of the PS5. The showcase will weigh in at around 40 minutes, so not super long, and include updates from PlayStation Studios and some of the industry's most imaginative developers for games releasing this holiday and beyond. And stick around after the presentation to get more updates from some of the studio teams featured in the showcase. One thing to note, PlayStation's next generation of VR won't make an appearance this time, but there will still be plenty of great PS5 games from developers large and small. We hope you can join us. We will be checking that out. I'm curious to see what they'll show. I wonder if they're gonna. Well, I'm sure there'll be at least like one new announcement in there, right? I'm kind of curious to be like, but I
Hopefully.
wonder if most of it'll be stuff that they've been working on. I'd
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
imagine.
These things are never that long anyway. Like it says, I think it's going to be 40 minutes long. So
There's always like state of plays, and then there's like showcases, and it's like
yeah.
showcases are usually like, what do you showcase? What you got next, Daniel?
Speaking of PlayStation, we have our PlayStation Plus games of the month for this month, September. Um, so for this month, you can get, if you have PlayStation Plus for free, you can get, for the PS4, you have Hitman 2 and Predator Hunting Grounds. And then for the PS5 folk, you can get Overcooked All You Can Eat. So I think, in my opinion, this is a solid month
Mhm.
for PlayStation Plus. Overcooked is a fun, are fun games, both 1 and 2. And then I haven't played any of the newer Hitman ones, but I would imagine that Hitman 2 is pretty dope.
They're
And
always
then
fun to go around and murder people. So
yeah, and then Predator Hunting Grounds is a fun time. So if you haven't played
yeah,
that, definitely
and
grab that.
it's got
It's
crossplay too.
solid.
So
Yeah, it
like
does have crossplay. So there you go. I almost forgot about that a little bit, but then yeah, you're totally
because
right. You're
everybody
totally right.
every predator we ever fought was playing on PlayStation.
Yeah,
It
man.
was like
Shout out to Namufaku on PS4, man. We kicked your ass, buddy, but it was a fun game, dude.
Mhm.
uh, all right. So yeah, those are the PlayStation Plus games of the month for for September 2021. Uh, what else we have in here? I think I have one thing in here. I think it's next. Yeah. So this thing, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just want to bring it up because as a fan of the NBA 2K basketball games, I don't really play them a whole lot nowadays. Like I haven't gotten one in several years, but like I used to love these a lot. And I think one of the cool things they did here is they got the actual PA announcers, like the real life PA announcers for every single one of the 30 teams, like the real one. Like if you were to go to watch a live basketball game at whichever one of these arenas, you would hear this guy's voice. You would hear these guys' voices at each one of those arenas because these are the real dudes. So I think this is a long overdue thing that they should have done forever ago. But they're adding the real PA announcers for each and every team into the game for this upcoming new one. And I
That's
think
cool.
that's pretty fucking cool, man. I've
That's
been
cool.
waiting for something like this for years, since when I played it. Like it's just cool seeing that they just small stuff like this that they, like, they should have. Like some of these guys are legendary, dude. Like Lawrence Tanner, fucking obviously Michael Biamonte from the Miami Heat, iconic as well. Like some of these guys, man, they just, you hear the voice and you recognize it right away. And it's just, and they even have like classic ones too, like because they have like, so 2K has this thing where like you can use teams, like legendary teams from like, you know previous, like you can use Michael Jordan's Bulls, and like,
Mhm.
there are teams throughout history that you can use that are like, iconic and everybody knows about and stuff. So they even brought back like announcers for like that stuff. Like you'll see later on they have like Tommy Edwards, who's like the classic Chicago Bulls one, like during the Michael Jordan era. So like they even did that, like not only do they have the current modern PA announcers, but they got like, even classic ones too, which I think is pretty nuts. Pretty
That's cool.
nuts. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's cool. I don't really play the sports games a whole lot nowadays. I when I get the chance, I definitely do because I still enjoy them. But I just thought it was cool to shout this out because I'm like, this is something that they should have done forever ago, and it's awesome that they're finally doing it because it's just a really, really cool thing to get you even more immersed. So yeah, I just, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's neat. That's really cool. That's also probably really expensive, I imagine, having all those different
Probably.
guys in there. Like,
Probably, but
so,
I mean, shit. What the fuck else are they using that microtransaction money for, bro?
right?
Like, fucking put it to good use, man, for
It's
stuff
cool.
like
That's
this.
cool.
Uh, yeah. So
All
I
right.
love it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
No, that's cool.
We can move on though if we would like to
Yeah, sure.
the next one here. Um, so Horizon Forbidden West will get a free PS4 to PS5 upgrade after some blowback. So originally, I believe they said that there would be no upgrade path from PS4 to PS5 for the Horizon Forbidden West. But they announced that they are doing it for free, and that it was intended to be a limited cross-generation, or it was intended to be limited to cross-generation launch titles on the PS5. But here's a statement from Jim Ryan, CEO and SIE president. Here we go. So last year we made a commitment to deliver free upgrades for our cross-gen launch titles, which included Horizon Forbidden West. While the pandemic's profound impact pushed Forbidden West out of the launch window we initially envisioned, we will stand by our offer. Players who purchase Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version for free. I also want to confirm today that moving forward, PlayStation first-party exclusive cross-gen titles newly releasing on PS4 and PS5, both digital and physical, will offer a $10 USD digital upgrade from PS4 to PS5. This will apply to the next God of War and Gran Turismo 7 and any other exclusive cross-gen PS4, PS5 title published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Sony noted that upgrading a PS4 version of a cross-gen game to a digital version of that game on PS5 will require a PS5 console with a disc drive. Horizon Forbidden West will launch on PS4 and PS5 on February 18th, 2022. So there you go. There's a little bit of an upgrade on that because first thing we're gonna do it, and then now they are, and it's there's been a lot of like will they, won't they, back and forth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to get more PS5s out there, man, so we can just fucking just buy the PS5 version.
Yeah.
These upgrades. Give us consoles. We'll buy them.
Yeah, so there you go. That is our gaming news for the week. Unless you got anything else, Josh.
Let me check here. Final Fantasy 14 is having an event on September 13th. They did I think in years past they did an event with Final Fantasy 15. I think it's 15 with the one with Noctis and Baba and her boys. That one. So they're doing an event. It's coming back, and you can get some armor, some hairstyles. I'll show them off on stream here really quick. Plop it over in just a second. Boop. You can get the car. It's a 4-player mount. You can get the armor, Noctis's outfit. You can get his hairstyle and some other stuff. You have to be level 50, and you have to have completed the main scenario quest called the Ultimate Weapon for the quest to pop up for you to go and do that stuff. I'm dropping some frames, guys. I apologize. But yeah, that's an event coming back. I'm gonna get that car. So we can all ride around together.
I gotta play some more because I haven't played in a little bit.
Yeah, well, Pathfinder took over my life, so I haven't played it all lately. I don't think there's really anything else I want to mention necessarily.
It's all good. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. Let's do it.
All right. So moving on to the TV news.
Oh, okay. First thing up we have up is a Blades in the Dark TV show is announced. For those of you that don't know, Blades in the Dark is a tabletop RPG. It is an award. So here's the article. I'll read it off to you really quick. Blades in the Dark, the award-winning tabletop role-playing game, is being adapted for television. The game's bleak Victorian setting blends acrobatic heist with gothic horror. It sounds like the perfect concoction for an addictive serial drama. The effort is being led by BAFTA-winning production house Warp Films, known for This Is England and Little Birds. The announcement came late Tuesday via author John Harper. I've watched John run the game before. Blades in the Dark is really cool, so we'll probably check it out at some point. Via the author John Harper, and was first reported by Screen Daily. Released in 2017, Blades in the Dark is set in the fictional city of Duskfall, Players from a team form a team of criminals engaged in a high-risk heist all around town. Working against them are the city's other and more powerful gangs and the souls of the dead, cursed to haunt the place for eternity. What makes the game unique, other than the whole undead thing, is its reliance on flashbacks. Once players come upon an obstacle, they roll dice to see how well they prepared ahead of time. With a high enough roll, they can engage their own creativity, pulling keys out of a hidden cubby hole, perhaps, or drawing the perfect weapon to disarm their foe. There's been a small surge of interest in adapting tabletop games for big and small screens over the past 5 years or so. The Dungeons & Dragons film, starring Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, and others, finished filming in August. Meanwhile, a Magic the Gathering animated series is on the way in 2022 from Netflix with Brandon Routh, Superman's Return, in a lead role. Dan Abnett's Warhammer 40k themed Eisenhorn trilogy, A Jewel in the Crown of Games Workshop's Black Library, is also in development from the team behind The Man in the High Castle. And the Warhammer Plus streaming service launched just last week. So yeah, we're getting Blades in the Dark TV series. I think that is fucking cool. The setting of Blades in the Dark is really... If you want to know what the setting of Blades in the Dark is, it's like Dishonored, almost. It feels a lot... It feels very Dishonored to me. I've wanted to run a game of Blades in the Dark for a while, but we haven't got to yet, but maybe we will soon. And I think it's really cool that they're digging into these tabletop things and making them into TV shows. And, like, this is perfect for a show. So we will watch your career with great interest as you develop Blades in the Dark. All right. Next up...
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Do you have anything to say on the Blades in the Dark, Daniel?
No, that's... I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. So I just based off of that, I'm very I'm curious to check it out for sure. I'm all about the more stuff like this being adapted and developed for TV and movies and stuff. So I'm all for it. I'm eager to learn to know more.
Yeah, maybe we'll run a game of that sometime.
Yeah.
Next up we have the official teaser trailer for The Wheel of Time.
So I actually haven't seen this, so I don't know if you have, but this is my first time watching this.
I watched this when it came out. Before we watched this, I read the books. There are a ton of books in this series, but I read them years ago. So some of this I recognize, and some of it's like, I'm sure I read it, but like when you go through like 13, 14, 15 books, however fucking many books this series is, it's a lot. So we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna put on I'll have the audio going for this one. Let's watch this, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see what Daniel's gonna think of it.
The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend.
Based on the best-selling book series.
The power inside you. All over the world, there are different names for it. But it's one thing. One power. And women who can touch it. We protect the world.
November, okay.
Happens. One pain we face, one heartbreak. The wheel keeps turning. The Dark One is coming for your friends.
The last battle is coming. The only thing that matters is what you do.
Whatever happens now, there's no turning back.
All right.
Okay,
So, what do you think of the Wheel of Time teaser
So-
trailer, Daniel?
I think that has potential. I don't know much about it, so I can't really speak on what's going on or anything like that because I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can say that there's a lot of that stuff that looks pretty interesting. I yeah, I don't know what's going on, but some of it looks pretty cool. I
Yeah.
don't know any of the characters or anything like that, like I said, but I this feels like something that I'd be willing to check out. So so there you go. That's
All right.
solid trailer from you guys because it piqued my interest enough to want to watch it. So
I will definitely be checking it
I
out.
yeah,
Uh,
I'd be down to give it a shot for sure. Do we
the
know how many episodes this is? This is like 8, like
I don't
the boys or
know. Let me look. Actually, the Wheel of Time. How many episodes? Here it is. I'm seeing 6 episodes. Oh, 8 episodes. Never mind.
Okay.
I was incorrect.
okay, yeah. So like the boys,
Uh,
8 episodes. Okay,
Consists of 8
that's fine.
episodes, and it's already renewed for a second season.
All right, great. So that gives me even more willingness to want to check it out because 8 episodes means that they're not gonna overdo many episodes that
Mhm.
are like they're not just gonna okay what I'm trying to say is they're not gonna do quantity over quality, like they're gonna do 8 episodes and make sure this is that this is gonna be hopefully as good as it can be. So
And look, to be
yeah.
honest, Amazon's been hitting it out of the park with me on these shows that we've watched, like
Yeah,
The Boys,
they really have. The Boys is
Invincible.
fantastic. Invincible, yeah.
Um,
Oh man, Invincible, yeah.
like, so I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to handle this, because how they're going to handle this is also going to be like an indication of how well probably the Lord of the Rings stuff is going to be when it comes out. You know, like, uh, speaking on the trailer, I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I have insider knowledge because I've read the books. But there's definitely some
Hmm.
misdirection happening in this teaser trailer that I noticed. So it's going to be. Sometimes when you read a book, they kind of like lay out the thing right at the start a little bit. But when they do a series, you're not in a character's head and the thing's not laid out for you. So I'm kind of curious to see what people think, and I'm also kind of curious to see how this first season will end up being. So yeah, that's the teaser trailer, just a teaser, not like a big giant thing. Although it is coming out in November, which is like just a couple months away. We will definitely be checking that out, and we'll let you guys know how that is. And if you want, go read the books. But I warn you, that is a journey. That's a commitment. That fucking Wheel of Time series is fucking long. You guys want to know how long? It's 14 books total. It is it took 22 years to completion.
Damn.
If you listen to this, the audio versions of this, it would take you 19 days. Like just
Jeez.
raw 19 days, just that was if you were listening to it nonstop. 19 fucking days of audio recording. So that includes like some prologue books in there too. There's prologue books. It's good. It's fun. I enjoyed it when I read it. It's been a long time, so some things are like faded from my memory. So I look really forward to checking out the Wheel of Time series with friends.
Yeah.
So
So really quickly before we move
Yep.
into the last topic,
catch it.
we have some sad news to report here, man.
Oh no.
We have actor Michael K. Williams was apparently found dead in his New York apartment. And he is most well known for playing the character of Omar Little in The Wire. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I have not seen The Wire, it's one of those shows that everybody says is like one of the greatest shows of all time, and his character is like one of the greatest TV characters ever and whatnot. I can't, I've never seen it, so I can't really speak on that. But I have seen him in other stuff to know that he is a he was a fantastic actor, and it's a shame that he's apparently no longer with us. So
That's a bummer, man.
that sucks, man. Yeah,
I saw him. I saw him in Boardwalk Empire. That's what I was.
yeah, yeah. Boardwalk Empire is one of the things he's in. So this apparently like just dropped like 20 minutes ago or something like that. So
Damn.
that's a bummer, man. That is a bummer for sure. He was 12 Years a Slave, Assassin's Creed, Boardwalk Empire. Obviously, I mentioned The Wire. He was in Lovecraft Country, also more recently, last year.
He's also
He yeah,
Battlefield.
go for it.
He's in Battlefield 4, and he's gonna be in 2042. Apparently, he did a voice and motion capture. So
Yeah, it's a
that's a
shame,
bummer.
man. Losing not only a talent but a great human, man. So that sucks, dude. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know that kind of just I was like, oh shit. Yeah, because I'm like, while we're talking about other stuff, I'm kind of just looking around and see if other stuff is happening.
Yeah,
and
I do the same thing.
It's unfortunate that this happened, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, much love to his family and all that stuff because that sucks, man. Yeah, apparently he was found in his apartment by his nephew, so that sucks, dude.
That sucks.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up real quick because it happened, like just now, basically, or not that long ago, earlier today. Um, so yeah,
All right.
that's shitty. There's no easy way to transition out of that one. So we're
Yeah,
just gonna go
we're just
ahead
gonna
and
move on.
just move on to the next one.
Yeah, we'll
So
keep on
Josh, if you
going.
would like
Yeah.
to move
Uh,
us into the next thing.
Here's what we have. Tom Hanks kicks off Band of Brothers, which this is the biggest reason I threw this in here is because Daniel and I love Band of Brothers.
Mhm.
So Tom Hanks kicks off Band of Brothers podcast as HBO celebrates the 20th anniversary of the acclaimed miniseries. So this is an article over on Deadline. It says anybody seeing this for the first time will be saying, "All right, tell away the amount of celebration nostalgia. This is an examination of the human condition," says Tom Hanks of the seminal seminal. No, I can't say words. A Band of Brothers miniseries, the 20th anniversary. What do you think? What would you do? Asked the co-creator of the HBO miniseries in a new podcast to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the multiple Emmy winner. They have a trailer above.
Check it out.
Let us.
Yeah,
Let's
so
open
as
that.
Josh said, we both of us do really like the Band of Brothers, the miniseries. So I definitely want to check this out.
All right. Apparently, I can't full screen, but we'll get it as big as we can here for you guys. Let's undo the browser and we'll play this.
There are moments throughout history in which impossible things, unimaginable things have come to pass because like-minded people decided to get together and make it so.
Welcome to the HBO official Band of Brothers podcast. I'm Roger Bennett, and I'm elated to be part of this podcast series celebrating the 20th anniversary of Band of Brothers release. Yes, it's
20
incredible
years,
to
dude. That's
believe
nuts.
that 2 decades have passed since that singular television event created by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg was unleashed on the world. With its sweeping narratives, a magnificent ensemble cast chronicling a group of like-minded people that Hanks himself just described. Easy Company, 2nd Battalion of the 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division, US Army. This podcast will retrace Easy Company's journey episode by episode, deepening your appreciation with behind-the-scenes insight, via conversations with its biggest stars, like Ron Livingston, who portrayed Captain Lewis Nixon, and told us about the way the cast deeply immersed themselves into their roles via an actor boot camp.
I gotta say, Rod, when I say we drank the Kool-Aid, we drank the Kool-Aid.
Donnie Wahlberg, whose empathetic human portrayal of the soulful Second Lieutenant Carlwood Lipton also led to a life-changing deep friendship with the man himself.
A relationship had been built and a fondness had developed and a respect was there. That made me more proud than anything.
And series co-creator Tom Hanks.
Anybody seeing this for the first time will be saying, all right, take away the clothes. This is not a celebration of nostalgia. This is an examination of the human condition. What do you think? What would you do?
So subscribe now wherever you get your podcast.
Great.
And remember, every episode of Band of Brothers is available to watch right now on HBO Max. Until then,
Hooray!
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
Daniel was turned into a rainbow. Let me fix that.
A rainbow. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I was looking at the thing, so I didn't.
It always happens when we're watching something, so I miss it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's cool. I'll be checking that out.
When is that going to be out?
Let me check here. I can't find it doesn't say in the article, I don't think. I can't find the date. That's fine. Maybe it's already happening. Band of Brothers podcast. Does this article have a date? Set to debut September 9th.
So that's also Thursday.
We'll kick off with two episodes. The first of which is a prologue that will see Tom Hanks, who co-created the series along with Steven Spielberg, guest star. And then the second episode, we'll also have second episode, which his name is in. We'll have Ron Livingston in the second episode.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
All right, cool. So September 9th will be the Band of Brothers podcast. Check that out, guys.
Awesome.
I'll be checking it out.
Hell yeah, September 9th. Dude, we're getting a lot of stuff coming up here, man. I know it's my birthday on Friday, but come on, guys. You know, it's getting to a place where it's a little much, man. But I love it though. There's a lot of good stuff up ahead.
All right. That is it for the television news. Unless anything's dropped, I can check really quick. I guess.
Nah, yeah, that's all I have. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the only other thing that I saw was that unfortunate news that we talked about right before this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else, so we're good to move on. Let's hit it. Movie news. What do we got?
Movie news. So the first thing that I have here, this actually dropped like after last week's podcast, and it's that the Rocketeer is making a comeback on Disney Plus with David Oyelowo producing and also potentially starring, which is pretty exciting because I love the Rocketeer. I love the original movie from the 90s. It's one of my favorites, and I was like, I've been wanting Disney to do something with the Rocketeer, especially because they could make it so cool nowadays. You know, like I loved it back then, you know, but what they could do with it now, I think would be really cool. So the idea now is that it's going to be a new Disney Plus movie called The Return of the Rocketeer, and it's going to have an all new creative directive with Ed Rickort writing the project, and it's going to be focusing on a retired Tuskegee airman who takes up the Rocketeer mantle, which obviously would be played by David Oyelowo. so that is where it's at, and then David and Jessica Yellow will be producing. Uh, the original movie was released in '91, directed by Joe Johnston, adapted from the Dave Stevens graphic novel. So yeah, I'm all for this. I think this is a pretty interesting new direction to take it in.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see this finally being made and like hearing talk of some kind of, you know, new stuff
We talked about it. Like you had
for
watched it again recently, and I think we even said like they need to do something with that shit. So now
yeah.
it
I mean,
looks like they are.
yeah. Again, I love the Rocketeer, the original. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting them to do something because again, like so that movie came out in '91. We're in 2021. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know how much better they could, like, if they really like do it right, it could be so cool done nowadays. So
Yeah. Do it.
I'm excited. I'm hyped for that. So
I'll be checking that out when it comes out.
yeah, I'm all about it. So let's make it happen, man. Let's do her, get her done, and yeah, hopefully we have some cool new Rocketeer stuff coming in the future.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The next thing that we have here is the final US trailer for No Time to Die. I I
I've
watched
seen
this
this
for the
trailer.
first time. I watched this for the first time in right before I watched Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I
You know,
played
as one of
this.
the I saw it right there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, let's play this. I'll probably leave it muted,
check it
guys,
out.
because I mean, it's James Bond, you know. um, I have subtitles on, but
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
uh, I was telling Daniel, or I posted in this Discord the other day. I was like, I need to rewatch these movies, the Daniel Craig Bonds, because like this trailer made me want to do it because they're showing scenes from the previous movies.
Yeah.
And I would love to watch those again before this one comes out. I'm curious about the bad guy. I want to know more.
So yeah, I would be too. I have not seen Spectre, which is the one before this one. So I need to watch
Yeah,
that
I haven't seen
before
it
this
either.
one.
There's some I've missed here and there. I missed Quantum of Solace and I missed Spectre. But and I'm not even sure like why I missed those. But it'd be fun to rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Meow, 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 meow. There's actually not a lot of music playing in this. I probably could have done this without the browser. With audio on. October 8th, James Bond is gonna whoop ass with this car, the minigun. Because he's
Right?
because he's James Bond and that shit he does.
Yeah, I need to rewatch the Daniel Craig James Bond movies.
Yeah, let's we should do that.
Just to be honest, the only one I really remember is Skyfall.
I remember Casino Royale quite a little bit. And Skyfall I remember. Boom. Only in theaters October 8th. So there's your James
like
Bond
that,
Skyfall. Hell yeah.
I like that end shot where they kind of give you the iconic, like, you know,
Mhm.
side shot type deal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's that. Yeah, so I just need to go back and watch Spectre because I haven't seen that, and then maybe get a refresher by watching some of the other ones. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, that looks cool though. I definitely want to check that out.
Same.
We have another trailer. This is the announcement teaser for Moonfall, which
I saw this
is
in theaters.
I did not, but
Yeah, they played this with a man.
this is the newest film from it's like a new disaster movie from Roland Emmerich called Moonfall. Stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley, Michael Pena, amongst others. One thing as we were playing this trailer, I fucking hate trailers to the trailer. Can you stop? Can whoever is in charge of making trailers and doing this, can you stop doing that shit? Fuck. Can we not do
Yeah.
that? That is the worst thing ever, dude.
I don't know why they do that nowadays. I fucking hate
We're
that shit.
literally about to watch the trailer. Why do you need to give me a trailer before the trailer? Stop doing that. Stop it.
It spoils the trailer for some fucking things.
Anyway, I apologize for that little rant, but we stop doing that.
It's okay, Daniel. The moon's about to fall on us, so it won't matter anymore.
I guess so, right? Yeah, I guess so. Look at all this fucking destruction.
Yeah. So they. Yeah, this isn't just about the moon crashing, because there's definitely some like alien shit there toward the end of this trailer. You know, it looks like anyway. I'll probably check this out. I won't go to the theater and see it, but I'll probably check it out. You know.
Yeah. A mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit around Earth and sends it hurtling on a collision course with life as we know it.
The mysterious force is I ate one donut too many and my gravitational pull grabbed the moon. Okay. What do we got next?
There you go. All right. Next up, we have some movie delays. Top Gun Maverick is moving from Thanksgiving to Memorial Day weekend, and Mission Impossible 7 is ready to go for fall 2022. So, Top Gun Maverick is moving to May 27th, Memorial Day of next year, or Memorial Day weekend of next year. And then Mission Impossible 7 is jumping over to next. Literally, we're like a year away. September 30th, 2022. So those are two of the more recent movies getting pushed back. Top Gun Maverick was supposed to be coming out on November 19th, and is now taking over Mission Impossible 7's previous slot, which is getting obviously I just said it's getting pushed back even further back to a year away. And I believe also Venom Let There Be Carnage is moving as well.
It keeps moving.
That movie has been moved around so much. I need to confirm if that movie has been moved.
Yeah, I saw somebody post an article earlier, but I haven't confirmed
it's moving forward, I believe. So
it's there and back again. A Carnage story.
It's October 1st now. So yeah, Venom Let There Be Carnage is coming out on October 1st. So there you go. That's when it's coming out. It did get moved up. Didn't we previously talk about it coming out in January or something?
Yeah. It was previously moved to the month where movies go to die, and now they're pulling it back.
Because it was like October 15th, then it was like January. Now it's October. I don't know what's going on with this movie, dude.
I don't know
I have
either.
no-
I'm so confused.
I have no faith in this movie at this point. But anyway, October 1st. Good luck, Venom. Let there be carnage. Because I think the only carnage that's going to be here is when Dune comes out, and that's not going to end well. But anyway, yeah, I I think we can move on from that. It's just a couple of movies getting pushed back and forward, and as we do from time to time, we always get stuff getting moved around and whatnot.
Yo.
Yeah. We have the DC Fandom 2021 lineup,
That's
which
how it
I'm
looks
very
like.
excited
Yes.
for. I can't wait for this, dude. We're gonna be having a lot of cool DC stuff coming up here next month, I believe. Yeah. So Saturday, October 16th. The event will take place on dcfandom.com, but you can watch it on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. So in the movie side of things, we're going to be having a new trailer for the Batman, which I can't wait.
Oh.
I remember at last year's Fandom, we got the first trailer for the Batman, and I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Like I was super excited for that. So I can't wait to see the next trailer. That's gonna be awesome. There's also new content for DC League of Super Pets. First look at Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam.
Ooh.
A sneak peek at The Flash, and some behind the scenes looks at Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, as well as Shazam: Fury of the Gods. So all of that, for the most part, I'm pretty much looking forward to. That's gonna be cool, man. We've been talking about how Black Adam has been in development for like a decade or whatever, so it's gonna finally be cool to see something from that,
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait to see that. The Flash is also exciting with the Flashpoint and all that stuff that they're doing. And then Aquaman, the first one was great, so looking forward to Aquaman 2, and then Shazam also enjoyed, so looking forward to Shazam 2. On the television side of things, they have stuff on Batwoman, The Flash, Superman and Lois, and Sweet Tooth, a farewell tribute to Supergirl as it approaches its epic conclusion after 6 seasons. A celebration of 100 episodes for DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and a first look at the upcoming new drama Naomi, and a sneak peek at an upcoming episode of DC's Stargirl. On the video game side of things, we'll have sneak peeks at Gotham Knights, developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, developed by Rocksteady Studios.
Wait.
New dumb friends.
There we go. Sorry, I was doing my soundbite for Nanaway. No dumb friends.
No dumb friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suicide Squad. I'm looking forward to both of those games. I can't wait to see more of them.
I'm interested.
So yeah, that'll be amongst other things coming out. They on the animated side of things, they're gonna be a upcoming look at the limited series Aquaman King of Atlantis, as well as season 3 of Harley Quinn, and then the new upcoming series Batman Cape Crusader, as well as Young Justice Phantoms. So we have a lot of cool DC shit coming next month for DC Fandom. I'm hype. I can't wait, dude.
It's such a good time to be like a nerd. You know what I mean? Like it's the time.
Yeah. That's gonna be a busy Saturday for me, dude, because I'm gonna be fucking reacting to all this shit, dude. I'm just gonna be like watching them, fucking throwing them up on YouTube, bro. Because get ready, man, because I'm gonna be watching. I think the majority of these. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. That's exciting. Speaking of DC, the last thing I have here is that Jason Momoa revealed a first look at his new stealth suit from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. First of all, I'm very glad that they're bringing back the tradition, the classic suit again. You know, the orange and the green, because
Mm-hmm.
that shit looks badass, and I'm glad they're bringing that back. So hell yeah for that. But then they're like, oh, we're doing a second one. It's a stealth suit, which I think looks a little weirder than the other one. There's something about like
The abs look weird.
that's what Jake was saying on Discord. He's like the abs look a little weird, and I tend
Does
to
the other suit not have
I
them?
think I agree with that.
Or like
It doesn't look.
it doesn't look like it does.
So the thing with the first suit is that it doesn't look like it does, and also like his arms are in the way, so you can't really see it
That's
that
true.
well. But yeah, I don't know. There's something weird about the abs of the second one. They look kind of, they look a little weird. Like I don't know. There's something about the sides and then I don't know. It looks off. It looks off.
He doesn't have the gloves, and his boots are different. He doesn't have his fins. He doesn't look like Aquaman. He just looks like Jason Momoa in a fucking battle suit. You know what I mean? Other than like he's got the Atlantean symbol on his belt. It almost looks like he's wearing a bat suit in some ways. Like, it's weird, but like all those things kind of matter. Like, not the gloves and the boots add to Aquaman, and like when you go here without them, it's just like here's Jason Momoa in a in a suit, in a combat suit. It looks like. I mean, it does look a little weird and a little off-putting, but
yeah,
like,
it looks a little off. I think Jake brings up a good point. It's kind of the same issue that you have with the Shazam suit, because that one looked a little weird. If you remember that one,
yeah.
So yeah, that I don't know what they do with these suits, but they just they look off. They look off.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
But yeah, that is I think that's all we got, unless you have anything else.
I don't. I can look really quick, but I don't think there is anything. Let's just check if anything has broken in the last hot minute. No. No, nothing I really want to talk about. I'll just throw it out there. There's Dune reviews out there right now, and I think that's because it's released in some countries, so they have reviews that came out.
I have heard of that as well. That there's some reviews out there.
The reviews are looking good for that, but I try not to read them. That just people seem to be praising it. So
I know that the film festival just happened as well. Was it the Venice Film Festival, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going on recently, so there's been a lot of talk about that. Like for example, like the Becoming Led Zeppelin, that is something that I'm interested in, and I've heard interesting things or good things about that. So there are things that people are talking about these things that have been seen behind closed doors that we don't know about yet. So yeah, we'll be curious to actually watch these things when they're available to us. But anyway, I think that might do it for our news portion of the day.
That's gonna be it for the news, guys. We're gonna take a quick break.
And then we'll be right back to talk about Shang-Chi.
I'm gonna run some ads.
Rings.
I'm gonna run some ads, and I'll put some music on for you guys, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. We're gonna talk some Shang-Chi. Let me get the fucking text up, because we're gonna spoil this probably.
If you haven't seen this yet, then I don't know what you're doing here, to be honest. But,
this is your time.
The name of the episode is the title of the movie, so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into spoilers. Yeah, I don't know.
So if you haven't seen it yet,
get ready.
Take a hike. Come back when you've seen it. Come to this part right here in the halfway point of the show, and yeah, and then you can pick up the discussion with us right here. But there's plenty of warning now. You've been warned. It's on the screen. Get out.
You come back later when you watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hit the road, Jack.
we're gonna get talking about it now. So
All right.
that was your last warning. Here we go, Josh. Are you ready to talk about
Uh-huh.
Shang-Chi and the Legend
I'm
of the Ten
ready.
Rings? So
I've been holding it in.
obviously, Josh and I both went to go watch this in the theater. I watched it Thursday night, opening night. I went opening night because I haven't been to the theater before watching this movie. I had not been to the theater since December of 2019 to go watch Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. That was the last time that I went to the theater. And going and when I was thinking of Shang-Chi, I was like, well, if I'm gonna go watch it, I want to make my theater return to the theater experience a good one. So I went opening night, Thursday, and it was great. I had a good time watching it. So I can straight out tell you that we always start this off of whether we like the movie or not. I can tell you that I love the movie. I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Yes,
I had a great time with this movie.
I agree with Daniel. It is a fantastic movie. I always when I go see a Marvel movie, I always think about our rankings that we did on like the fucking first episode of the podcast.
Our initial episode, yeah. Which funnily enough, like if we were to redo that now, my list would look a little different.
All right. That's what I always think of.
I'm pretty sure we said this even at the time when we first did that. Is that you could ask us like a week from then or whatever, and our list would probably change. And mine certainly has. Since then, quite a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic movie. Loved it. I went Friday. I went the day after the opening at 12 p.m. I took my nephew with me, and I went to our theater. There was one dude working. There was nobody else in that motherfucker. Like, so we went and picked out the seats where we always like to sit. I like to sit in the back middle. And I think maybe 12 other people came into that theater. Not because, like, there's something, like, there's just not a lot of people going to the movies, and it's an early showing. I get the early showings I can because I like to be, like, I'm cheap, and tickets are just cheaper. Like, but yeah, like, man, it was so good. Like, I enjoyed it so much. The only way I probably could have enjoyed it more is if like we were all together in a movie theater and could do that, all together and watch it like all my close friends hanging out and watching this thing we love on the big screen. But from the moment the movie started, I loved it like all the way through.
Yeah, it was so cool, dude. I like, yeah, like you said from the beginning, like I have okay. Let me just say one thing real quick. The rings are so fucking cool, dude. They're like they're a tool and a weapon. Like you can use them to like for movement, and the different ways you can use them to attack. Like you can have them all on one arm, or you can have like 5 and 5, on each one, and you can use them as like whips and shit. And like there's so many different ways you could use them. Like that is such a cool tool slash weapon that I like. As I was watching the movie, I'm like, dude, I need to play like an RPG slash D&D character with a weapon like this because this is fucking awesome, dude.
Bro, every time there was a fight, and the martial arts busted out, I was like, everybody's got to play a monk at some point. Like in D&D and tabletop, like everybody's got. I cannot tell you how good the fighting in this fucking movie is. Like you literally have to see it. And like I was like, how good are the fights gonna be?
Great.
Oh my god, it's good. Like when Jake asked me, he's like, I think Jake asked me, he's like, what would you kind of compare it to, or what's kind of like in the movie? And I was like, there's some Jackie Chan in there. And the reason I said that is because the bus fight scene that happens,
was cool, yeah.
And Shang-Chi is doing like moving around and jumping around and going up and over and grabbing like the steering wheel and stuff like that. I'm like, I just thought of Jackie Chan and all those crazy stunts he does, and like it's good. Like it's like it looks real. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of it is real. Like a lot of it's practical, but like it's crazy to me how good it is. Like the
Yeah,
movement and is so fluid.
I really enjoyed the fighting choreography in this. When when we saw the bus scene as early as we did, I was like, this is great because that means there's a bunch of other stuff that we haven't seen yet. Because we
Mm-hmm.
had seen the bus scene multiple times in trailers and stuff. So I'm like, okay, awesome. We still have a bunch of other cool shit, you know what I mean? Ahead of us. And like I'm sure we'll get to the Ta Lo stuff a little bit later, but the stuff we saw there was awesome as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like seeing all the weapons and the movement and things that they did over there. Like I said, we'll get to that, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed the fighting choreography in this. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I well, okay, where do you want to start? What do we just like, you know, the way because usually the way we do these things, we kind of I think we kind of try to go from like not necessarily like beginning to end, but we kind of like start with things that are uh more towards like the beginning of the movie and then we like make our way towards the end. But yeah, how do you want to go about it this time?
Uh, you take the lead here, Daniel. You guide us, and I will comment along. How about that?
All right,
On how we
so
want to do it.
let's talk about first thing I want to talk about is let's talk about I guess Shang-Chi himself. So I think that the the choice of Simu Liu as Shang-Chi is fantastic. I think he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very likable dude in the movie and outside of the movie too. Everything I've seen from him, you know, and then like the in terms of like marketing the movie and like all that stuff has been incredible. He's been doing like Reddit AMAs and you know doing stuff on Twitter and then all that kind of stuff. Like he's been great. He's a good dude. So yeah, I liked him as Shang-Chi quite a bit. I'm excited to see the future of him as this I'm excited to see the future with him as this character going forward. Um which then makes me want to talk about the rest of the cast. So yeah, what'd you think of the cast in total? Because I thought they all were good. I thought they all did a great job. I particularly really liked Tony Leung's Wenwu. I thought his character was fucking awesome, and we'll get to that a little bit more here in a little bit more detail. But like even everybody, like even Xiaoling's actress who she prior to this movie had this is her first movie or TV show acting credit. She's only ever done like theater and stuff before, so that I thought was pretty pretty awesome, and I thought she did a great job um with that character. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
then we'll get to talking about her a little bit more because her character has some stuff to discuss. But yeah, Menger Zhang, she did a great job. She did a fantastic job. This is her first like you know TV/movie credit, so you know she did great.
That'd be a trip. What's your first acting credit? I was in a Marvel movie.
Oh,
You know, I
you
had a
know,
pretty
I'm
big
just
role.
MCU. You know, the
MCU.
sister of the main character. You know.
Yeah, you know, and like kind of like stands on her own.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. She again, we'll get to the detail of some of these characters a little bit here, but
Mhm.
yeah, overall, just talking about the cast real quick. I honestly thought Aquafina was gonna annoy me with her character, um, but it didn't bother me that much. I didn't mind it. I thought the humor was pretty funny, you know. So I thought she did a solid job with kind of what her character was. So yeah, Katie didn't bother me. I thought she would, but she did not. So
This
that is
this was like
that's a
my
positive for me.
first experience I've had with Aquafina. I didn't know. I haven't never seen her in anything, or at least if it is, it's not anything I remember. So I didn't really know anything. I still probably don't really know anything about her all that much. But yeah, I think she was fine. She was good in the film. Um, but yeah, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi is fantastic. Like I he made me care about a character I knew nothing about. He makes me want to learn more about like the history of the character now. Um and I can't wait to see where that character goes in the future because as I when we were going to the movies, my nephew was asking me like, you know, all those some of these previous characters are gone now. Like, who's Shang Chi? And I looked at him and I said, I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So like, you know, I think that's great. Um, I've said it a million times that I love learning new characters, and this movie was full of just brand new characters for me to get to know and to get to like. So, um, like I don't think there's a character I didn't like in this film. To be honest with you, like everybody was great.
Yeah,
Uh,
I kind of was the same way. I don't think I really disliked anybody. I thought everybody was pretty solid for the most part. Um, Even somebody like Razor Fist, I think is his name, right?
mhm.
Yeah, Razor Fist. He was like, you know, he had his moments from time to time, but yeah, no, yeah, I thought the cast was great in my opinion. So that already was fantastic. Let's see.
Just one
So
thing I'd like
again,
to shout out, if that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, go for it, go for it.
It's just that I'm thrilled with how much they use subtitles in this movie. It made me
Yeah.
feel like
Yes.
I was like, because you never know with Disney and like how much are they going to trust the audience to follow along. But like this movie trusts you to be okay with reading subtitles and uses them quite a bit throughout the movie from like the beginning to the end, and I'm like, all right, I dig it. I'm glad they're doing this.
Yeah,
It adds so much to make it more like authentic to me.
I'm glad they're
Um,
doing. I know they did that as well. I think that's very important that they do that going forward as well with some of the other future stuff as well. Like this bodes well for that for sure. I really enjoyed that. It was good to see it. Yeah, I agree. It was cool. It was really cool to like just you hear them talking and then you read the subtitles and it just makes sense for what we're watching. So
yeah, and I was reading like
fit in
some of
really
the
well.
comments. Saw some of the comments from actual like speakers of the language that like the subtitles almost don't even do the lines justice because there's like so much more into it if you understand the language than like
Hmm.
um
I mean
when
that
he's
kind
telling an
of
old man at the end. Like it just there's so much more to it, nuance of it. Like it just means so much more.
yeah,
uh,
that tends to be the case when you have subtitles. It like it gives you kind of like it gives you the understanding of what they're saying, but like if you know the language, then obviously you know
mhm.
you get that it's more than the subtitles. So
Which is dope, which is so
yeah,
cool. It makes me want
yeah,
to know the language. You know. um
yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I agree.
I'm glad they put those in. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it for a lot of the movie. Um
Mhm.
uh yeah, it was just great. It just
Again,
added so much.
it just makes sense to have something like that in a movie like this. So yeah, it's great.
Uh
Um, Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something that I wanted to talk about as well.
Well, the biggest reason I brought it up is because it's at the start of the movie, like when they're with pretty much like they're from the moment it starts, they're subtitles. So, and I was
Yeah,
kind of curious. I was like, are they just going to open with it and do that, or are they going to use it throughout the movie? And they use it a good chunk in the movie, which made me very
yeah, they
happy.
do.
Uh,
Yeah. So speaking of the beginning of the movie, we kind of start off with a little bit of history, like history telling of the Ten Rings and the Mandarin and when Wu's character and stuff. So I a thing that I really liked about this movie is how they treated the flashbacks and that kind of stuff.
mhm.
Um, I think they were utilized really well, like especially like later on in the movie when you see like Simu, yeah, like older Shang-Chi, like reminisce about like younger Shang-Chi as like it's with his training and like the stuff with Death Dealer, like when he's about to kill him and he goes back, he remembers to like when he used to get his ass kicked by Death Dealer and stuff, and there's just like things like that. And then when like the stuff with his mom, and then like with the sister and just all the family like flashbacks and stuff, I thought was done really well. Because like I generally am not the biggest fan of like flashback storytelling. Like I think that's probably like one of my biggest issues in like Captain Marvel. I kind of wasn't like a huge like super fan of how they did it in that movie.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I still like the movie, but like I said, I generally am just not huge on like flashback type stuff. So it really depends on how it's done. And I liked how they did it in this one. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick because I really enjoyed how they did it in this one. Yeah, and then the kid actors for Shang-Chi and you know the sister and stuff I thought were pretty good too. Like they had a pretty like when you see little Shang-Chi, watching his mom die in front of his eyes and stuff and talk to his little sister and all that. I thought he did a good job um with that. So going back to the fighting stuff though, fighting choreography. So we talked a little bit about the bus scene. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. Um one of the one of the ones that I really liked too was when we first see Wenwu fight Zhang Li, which is Shang-Chi's mom, right? When
Mhm.
they like meet for the first time and they kind of their fight is like it's like they're like dancing. They're like the movements that they're doing are so like fluid and like it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Like I enjoyed seeing that as well. Like it was just really really cool, man. Um, you, you can't have parrots in MCU movies. No, yeah, you can't. Dude.
it's true.
That is that is the way that it has to be. Yeah, it's not allowed. It's not allowed at all in the MCU. Um,
Um,
but
yeah,
yeah, seeing seeing Wenwu and Zhang Li interact and like just seeing their beginnings of how they met and that one like she was the only one to have been able to beat him and all that stuff, and then later on we get to see like from the aunt Nan, she gets to teach Shang-Chi like the way that his mom beat his dad and stuff, and we see that exact like stance and the movements and everything later on in the end fight. So seeing that stuff is really really cool. I also liked how they explained the Iron Man 3 stuff
yeah.
in this movie. Like for example, uh we get to see Trevor Slattery again.
Mhm.
And so I almost couldn't believe it cuz like before they like showed his face and we knew who it was, I figured out that it was going to be him cuz like
Yeah, I figured it
we
was too.
we walk in the room and you kind of see him from behind. You're like, no. You're like, is it really him? And sure enough, dude, it's fucking Trevor Slattery from fucking Iron Man 3, the fake Mandarin. And
And
he's
he's in this
hanging
movie
out
a
with
lot, actually. It's not just a
he
cameo.
is. Yeah, it is not a cameo. He's in it for quite a bit. He is in it for quite a bit. And he has a little fucking friend named Morris.
I love that part where he's like, "Oh, you can see Morris. It's not a
yeah,
hallucination."
he doesn't have a face, and that stuff is great, dude. I thought it was really cool seeing Trevor Slattery, Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley's bring back this character for a little bit of like comedic relief, kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, he is the one that kind of adds the comedy in quite a bit.
Him and Katie are the
Yeah.
two. I think I would say the two like comedic reliefs of the movie, the main ones. Yeah, it was cool seeing him again. It makes sense that Disney added the All Hail the King short to Disney Plus. I would definitely recommend rewatching that if you have, because it makes total sense. If you've never seen it, I would recommend checking it out as well, because it takes place after Iron Man 3, and yeah, it ties in well to Shang-Chi as well. With Trevor and the Ten Rings and all that. So that was really cool. And then yeah, just hearing Wenwu talk about like just like shitting on Iron Man 3, basically being like, yo, this dude, they like named him after like an orange or like some chicken, it's like get out of here, man.
Mm-hmm.
That I really enjoyed. I thought that was funny as hell. Um yeah, and then also another thing is like I was kind of it was cool. I don't know. I guess the thing with when they went to the fighting like fighting arena area, where you see Wong and Abomination fighting,
Mm-hmm.
that it
Yeah.
kind of makes me wish that we didn't see that in the trailer, because it was just like that. It was basically just that. Like
Right?
that was the gist of it, right?
Yeah, I
Like
kind of wish it
there was
wasn't in the
nothing
trailer either.
more to that. It was like you get to see them talk a little bit afterwards, like as if they're like buddies and stuff. Because I think Wong calls him Emil, right? Um, but anyway, like they make it seem like they're just friends, and whatnot. So that was pretty cool, I suppose. But yeah, it would have been better if I think if it wasn't in the trailer, um, since that
Yeah.
was pretty much all it was. But it was still cool to see. Wong also was in this a little bit more than I thought he would be. Especially like with stuff towards the end of the movie and whatnot. But yeah, that was cool though, seeing the fighting pits and whatnot. I actually kind of want to rewatch. I can't wait to rewatch the movie, because there's gonna be stuff that I
Yeah.
like in those fighting pits. I was talking to Majin and Ian, and they were talking about how maybe one of those fighters in the fighter pits was like had extremis. You remember from Iron Man 3, the extremis stuff? I'm curious if
Uh,
one of somebody in there had that.
I'll be honest with you, I
I don't
can't remember.
remember.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. No, now that you say that, and I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jake says maybe a soldier with extremis and maybe a widow. Yeah. I want to rewatch that
I want
scene
to
in
rewatch that
particular.
too.
I mean, I want to watch the whole movie because it's amazing, but I want to pay attention to that scene a little bit more next time, so I
I
can
was I
spot
was trying to
maybe stuff
look,
in
but
there.
like my glasses ended up getting like, I don't know if I got some popcorn butter on them or what, but they were
Oh
like
man.
they were like getting kind of blurry, and I'm like trying to clean them, and I was like trying to see, and then at the same time it's like it's moving so fast. I'm trying to get like a good look, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I was like, do I recognize any of these? Uh,
Yeah. So I
uh
want to check that out and see like what other Easter eggs or whatever is in that, for sure.
yeah, same.
Um. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about well, what do you where do you want to go from here, because there's different, like we can talk about like Death Dealer, or the Ten Rings and where they were, and uh oh yeah, the sumo wrestler, yeah, that was
Yeah, that
great
was
seeing
good.
that guy just toss the dude up there, yeah,
Um,
because I was gonna go into Ta Lo, but I mean, we can wait a bit on that because there's some other stuff that's in between that we can talk about, I suppose. Because like in
It's
that
hard.
fighting ring, they meet the sister Shaling,
Mhm.
who's like running the place. We find out basically, and yeah, that was really cool to see. She kind of like so they get like spotted by Razor Fist and all, and all those guys because they wanna take the uh the eyes, right, that they have around their uh in like a pendant necklace type deal.
Yeah, the
Um
mom's necklace.
yeah,
The-
they want to take those, so they the sister kind of bounces out of there and leaves them in there. She's like, oh, now you know how it feels to get left behind or whatever, because Shang left her and all that. And they kind of have there's another cool fight scene on like the side of the building that happens there that's
yeah,
pretty dope, and I enjoyed that one as well.
as they're trying to climb down, and it's like,
Yeah,
all I could think is like, I'd be so fucking scared I could move an inch, and then
the
they're over here
camera
just
movements and the camera movements in that scene was fucking cool too. Like when Shang-Chi's like fucking doing like, I don't want to say flips, but he's like maneuvering his way around because this is by this point Katie's like hanging on to the thing because she's like falling off the building or whatever, right? And
yeah,
Shang-Chi's trying to get to her, and he's doing these like cool like jumps and kicks and like he's trying to like maneuver his way down to her. And the camera movement then during that is so fucking awesome. It was so dope while he's fighting these dudes, and then his sister comes back and saves Katie, and it's you know that was great. That was really 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 incredible.
yeah. It's like
The movement was so good. Yeah.
it's hard to describe the fighting and the movement and all that because it's just so good. And you almost have to see it. Like
It's the way that the
it's
characters move, the way the camera moves, and like they're like in sync and moving like together, and it's so good. It's so damn good.
hmm
It works so well, and the end product is fantastic.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I'm trying to
Yeah, I'm trying to formulate thoughts. It's hard.
well, I'm just trying to like between this time and between we get to Talo, so they obviously they get captured by Wenwu. And then, like, again, it was kind of what I referred to earlier with Shang-Chi about to kill Death Dealer, which they kind of, I thought Death Dealer was going to have a little bit more to do in this movie, to be honest.
I did
Because
too.
they kind of like, you see him in like the flashbacks and then Shang-Chi's training and stuff, but he kind of doesn't really do anything.
It's pretty
He's,
forgettable, to be honest with you.
he's just like a dude, and he's just like one of the right-hand man, like type dudes, and he's just like there, but he doesn't really do much.
yeah.
But yeah, so they get captured by Wenwu. He takes them back home, and he explains to them his plan about wanting to go to Talo because he keeps hearing Zhang Li's voice, talk about opening the gate and this and that, and the scene where he explains to them the plan, and like you see the water map thing on the floor. I thought that was cool too. Like
No,
visually.
that's just fucking dope.
I was like, this is pretty rad. I like the way they handled that as well. I thought that was pretty freaking cool. But yeah, this is kind of like around the time where he like sends them off to take them away, and then they meet Trevor, and Morris knows how to get him back home, and you get that whole like car chase in the maze going to Talo, which let me tell you, dude, that has got to be. I would hate to be in that situation in real life, where you have to trust this like no face preacher thing leading that can't even speak, that's being translated by fucking Trevor Slattery to lead you hopefully through the right way through this fucking like forest maze to the entrance of Ta-Lo, you have to like make the right turns and everything. And I mean, shit, they're lucky Katie's a good driver, bro. Because goddamn, dude, that
Mm-hmm.
I'm let me tell you, dude, I'd have hated to be in that spot for sure.
Yeah. I just want to say like those they're gonna make Morris plushies and they're gonna sell like fucking fire. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
of course.
uh,
Yeah.
kids are gonna love them. I'll be honest. I kind of want one, just for the shelf.
So coming soon to a podcast near you, we're gonna see Morris behind Josh's shelf.
Morris is gonna be up there.
He's gonna
All
be
right.
back there in the shelf, and
This
yeah.
this two-butted no face having plushie that it talks, but only Trevor can understand it for some
Yeah.
reason. It look cute as hell. I want it on the shelf.
So be on the lookout for that because Josh will be having one at some point, I'm sure. Yeah. Morris was pretty cool. It's an interesting little creature that I don't know why Trevor was the only one that could understand him and not some of the others, but I don't know. Anyway, it made for an interesting dynamic with the group that they had there. So
yeah.
But anyway, they make it to Ta-Lo finally, which is like this place in a whole other dimension. We're getting into like weird Marvel stuff now. We're like, we did all the shit on Earth already. We went into space with Guardians and all this stuff, but now we're going into new dimensions and all kinds of crazy fuckery that is exciting but weird, and I'm all for it. So yeah, Ta-Lo, different dimension, bunch of cool warrior-esque people that are kind of when you see that you're like, this is what Avatar the Last Airbender movie should have looked like, instead of what actually happened. Because I could totally like if they
I'll be right back.
If Netflix if you're listening out there, I know you're working on the Avatar the Last Airbender TV show. Watch this movie so you can get an idea of how to handle the airbenders for your show, because I think if you look at the Ta-Lo warriors and that end sequence, that third act of Shang-Chi where they have the battle and all this stuff, I think you'd find some good stuff in that. So if anybody over at Netflix has anything to do with the Avatar the Last Airbender show and is watching this or listening to this somehow, some way, check that out, because I think that would be some good inspiration to take from there. And then I also really enjoyed seeing the dragon scale armor and weapons and all that stuff that we saw in there. I thought though that was really cool too. That is probably going forward how I will imagine them in my mind, is like that. And I think they're really, really cool now. Not that they weren't cool before, but like seeing them in action, kind of, you're like, okay, this is pretty badass. So I thought that was awesome. Yeah. I really like seeing. I forgot that Michelle Yeoh was in this movie.
Did you? I kept waiting for her to show up.
I kind of forgot she was in it for a while. Then she showed up, and I was like, "Oh crap, she's in this movie!"
Yeah.
Like it was like one of those like pleasant surprise type things. But it's like before the movie came out, I knew she was going to be in it. But then you're watching the movie, and then you forget that she's in it. And then like when she shows up, you're like, "Oh fuck, it's Michelle Yeoh!" And I thought she was great as the character of Nan, which is the as Ying Nan, which is the sister to Li Yang or Yang Li. They were sisters and whatnot. So she was really cool. I like how she was talking to the brother sister duo of Shang-Chi and Xialing. I combined the two names together, so you're welcome. But anyway, she kind of like told them about their mom and like showed them the shrine, and then like gave them their like new cool armor.
Oh my god, the outfit
they had.
I
Yeah,
love the outfits. They look so good. All that dragon scale armor and weapons and all that, bro. I love it. That shit looks fucking
yeah.
sick.
It looked hot as shit, dude. It was badass. Like it was so cool. Um, we were talking in the voice chat like last night, and they were like, "Oh," or Ian was like, "Oh, why it's only it's cool, but it's only the torso piece. Like they didn't have any other stuff, It's like, and then Majin was like, "Yo, it makes sense to have not, not at the whole thing, so you can have more movement on the legs and the pants and stuff, right?"
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny, but yeah, it makes total sense. But that like jacket torso piece was really cool. It was a good color too, red. He has like the red red, and he has like red and black vibes, right? With like a little bit of gold thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good color scheme. It's a good color
I
scheme.
love the outfits. I thought they looked great.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for him to show up.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing him finally suit up. Which, by the way, there's a lot of cool jackets in this movie. He has a lot of cool jackets in this. I am a lover of cool jackets, so I can appreciate all the dope jackets they had in this movie. But yeah, I like seeing all the dragon scale stuff, and then seeing Katie train with the bow and arrow as well was kind of cool, and she kind of like forms like a mini little I don't want to say bond, but like it's like she becomes cool with that old man dude for like a little bit, and it was cool seeing them like they're like cool back and forth with each other, like but like when they're like battling, he's like don't die, and like stuff
Yeah.
like that, which was pretty funny. So like small interactions like that were pretty great as well. Yeah, that was great. I like the look of Ta Lo. It was really cool. Everything about it was awesome. I was saying while you were gone, Josh, that like if the Avatar TV show, the Netflix one,
Mm-hmm.
could definitely get some inspiration on the Ta Lo stuff for what they're trying to do. I think that would be like a good source of inspiration for what they're doing. I feel like.
I agree. The other thing I love throughout this movie is just Shang-Chi trying to like find who he is. Like there's definitely an identity crisis in this movie where he's like torn between his mother and his father and revenge and like killing and death, and like I just love the whole how it plays out throughout the entire movie. Like it's and it's like he never stops caring about his father at points. He realizes he has to stop him. But like it's like this is what you wanted, well you're getting it. And like they have that badass fight scene.
Which that's the next thing I want to get into here is
let's do it.
I want to talk about Wenwu, because I think his villain story is a tragic one, and it's also relatable, and it's something that again it's just it makes sense, like you don't I don't blame the dude for well, I mean it's just a relatable villain story, right? Like it makes sense. Like you can sympathize with him a bit,
Yeah, I definitely did. Like when they're fighting and he's like he's trying to free his wife, like
dude just really loves his wife, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
even though what he's hearing is not her, he is just doing his darndest to fucking try and bring her back somehow.
And here's my interpretation of that is that she makes him better. She makes him a good guy.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
and when she's gone, he slips. When she's gone, he slips back into being the villain, and all he wants is her back. And it's like he wants to be the good guy again. Like
I mean, throughout the movie, they talk about like how they both gave up stuff for each other, and like
Mhm.
he gave up the rings for a while, and she literally left Ta Lo for him because they wouldn't accept him into their into Ta Lo because he's an outsider and or whatever and whatnot, and yeah, I mean he like you see like how much of a better person dude becomes with her, and then once she's gone, like you said, we literally see like flashbacks of him taking little Shang-Chi to go like with him to go fuck some dudes up, right? Like we see them walk into some place and he's like, all right, wait here, Shang. And then like he pulls out the rings and you just start seeing him serving up ass whoopings. Like
Yeah, bro.
he
He
is
kicks the
with
shit
those
out of him.
rings, he is beating the dog shit out of people, bro. And you see him like toss them around and throw them around and stuff. And like before this point, we had already seen the amount of damage these things could do. Because at the beginning of the movie, obviously, we see him throughout time leading his armies and all that shit, right? Um, but yeah, you see him just wreak havoc and all, and after that, and yeah, it's yeah, it's incredible. I really like the character, and I really like the actor too, Tony Leung.
Yeah.
He is really good in this as this character. I feel like Marvel has like a history of their villains being not the best, and by that I mean like I'm talking Malekith from Thor: The Dark World. I'm talking like Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like some of the like weaker villains that they've normally had in the past. But I feel like within the past, I don't know, I want to say several years, their villains have been getting better. Like I mean, there's
Yeah.
always been Loki and dudes like that, but like I'm
Mm.
talking like Killmonger, Thanos, uh Zemo, and then now Wenwu. Like their villains for me have been getting better. Like
Well, think
they've
about
been a
it.
lot better than
Every
they have
character
been.
that you named just now has a reason to like you can see their point of view almost. Like, all right, I can
Yeah,
see why Thanos wants to snap out half the world. It's like, all right, I understand Zemo's desire for getting rid of superheroes and starting like the Civil War. Uh, like you can and oh, thank you, Hannah, for the raid. Appreciate you.
hey, horror raiders.
Anybody in here? We're spoiling Shang-Chi, so if you haven't seen the movie, I appreciate you guys hanging out, but please don't let us spoil it for you.
Yeah,
Uh, but and Killmonger, like you totally understand. You understand these
yeah.
characters.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You can relate to these characters. Um, and I think that's what makes great villains. That's what I want
Oh,
to
of
do with
course.
villains in D&D. Is like
Yeah,
I want those
those
types of
those are
villains.
those are the best type of villains. The ones
Yeah,
that are relatable, that you can sympathize with, and the ones that think they are not the villains. Also,
they're the heroes of
the
their
ones
stories.
the ones
Yeah.
that yeah, exactly, that are the heroes of their own story, that think they're doing the right thing. Yeah, for sure,
So
for
once
sure. So
again,
yeah,
for those of you that come in, we're spoiling Shang-Chi. I'm just gonna warn you one more time. We're spoiling it. I don't want you to. I don't want you to ruin the movie for you.
yeah.
So go
So
check it out.
for those listening, we just got a raid because we're streaming this on Twitch,
We're on Twitch right
and
now.
we got a raid. So yeah, anybody coming in, we are talking spoiler talk for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So yeah, but yeah, I yeah, Wenwu's, man, his story is so tragic, and I love it though.
I loved it.
It's yeah, he's
I
just
was
such a
I was
good
sitting there. I was sitting there and I was
such a
like, I
good
sympathize
character.
with this guy. I understand this guy. He's a villain, but I totally understand why he's doing what he's doing and why he feels the way he feels.
Yeah,
And I don't know, and like seeing Strong try to and deal with him, like anybody that's ever had a fight with a parent, like had an argument or something they disagree with, like it was just compelling, like watching him face off with his old man there at the
yeah.
at the end. Speaking of the other thing that I wish they hadn't shown in the trailer is I wish they hadn't shown the dragon.
Oh, yeah, dude. Which I believe is called like the Great Protector or something like that.
Yeah,
If I'm not
the moment I see the lake and them fighting, I'm like, okay, I know he's gonna get knocked into it. If I hadn't seen that trailer, I wouldn't have known that. You know, so that was like, as I was sitting there watching the movie, I was thinking, I wish they hadn't shown that in the trailer. I really wish they hadn't, but I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I still, obviously, it's still dope and cool as fuck, and like, it's in that movie a lot at the end, a lot more than I actually thought it was gonna be. I thought it was just gonna be like, all right, he's gonna float to the surface now that he saw that and whoop ass. No, that thing comes fucking. He's riding that some bitch out there.
Seeing the Great Protector battle against the Dweller in the Darkness, as they call it, that like kaiju looking monster thing that we see that comes out the gate. That was cool, man. Seeing those two things fight each other. We got a fucking monster movie in this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That's so great. That's so cool, dude. Like, we already have this like pretty cool battle of like the Ten Rings fighting the Talo war people and whatnot, and that was pretty cool. But obviously, the Talo, kind of are whooping their ass with their cool dragon scale armor and weapons and whatnot.
Oh, that looks so cool.
And then you see the dragon and the kaiju thing come out and fight, and it adds to the amazingness of it.
And you never played a Jade Empire, but there's a something that happens in that game that when I saw the dragon in this movie, I was like, oh shit! I immediately thought of the Jade Empire video game. I was like,
I need to
cool.
play it. I need to play it. It's been on my back burner in my library of games that I've been needing to play for a while. I need to get to it. I just haven't yet. But yeah, that was really cool. That whole third act was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Bro, when Winwu gets grabbed by the Dweller, and spoilers, he's gonna die, and he's looking at Shang-Chi, and he gives him the rings, bro. Fucking tears, okay? Like
he realizes his mistakes, and he's like, all right, well, this is it for me, but you know this is your time now, dude. You're these are yours now. You've earned them. It's time for you to fix this mess that I have brought upon us all. I can't do it because I was too foolish enough to let myself be blinded and clouded by all of this throughout, with my grief and anger and all the feelings that he had with losing his wife and whatnot. And he hands over the mantle, dude. He's like, all right,
imagine.
the rings are yours, man.
Yeah, like they get all these flashbacks. I'm like, there's even a point where he says, "Let it go, Dad," or something like that.
Yeah,
something to that effect. And I'm like, fuck.
That shit is so good, dude. I love the way that they utilize the flashbacks in this movie. They were done so well.
Yeah,
they were so good.
Like just let it go. And yeah, man, I don't know. It's so fucking good. Like,
It
yeah,
really is.
it's so good.
Like,
I want to watch it again.
To be honest, I was gonna say that. Just talking about it makes me want to watch it again, dude. I can't, dude. I'm gonna buy this movie when it comes out, bro. I really love this movie. I think it's really, really good.
We haven't even talked about the soundtrack, like the music in it. No, it's fucking dope.
So I was gonna bring that up. I loved the score and the soundtrack. I think well, more so the score. I think the score is fantastic. The soundtrack has some cool stuff in it too. But the score for this, like Shang-Chi's main theme, I've been like listening to repeat like over the past several days, dude. Like, remember when we had Alex on, we were talking about music. When you find that one song or track or whatever, that you just blast on repeat over and over again. That's been me with Shang-Chi's theme, like over the past, like since I've seen the movie. Like I've just been replaying the score, listening to that particular theme over and over and over again. As I was gathering our like the final notes for today's episode last night, what was I doing while I was looking up notes for it? I was listening to the soundtrack while I was gathering the notes, dude. Like it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's great. I really enjoyed the soundtrack to this. It's by Joel P. West is the composer, and he did a good job. I really like Shang-Chi's theme.
Yeah, it's great.
And I would, if you haven't listened to it yet, I would recommend doing that because it is really good. So give
Sometimes
that
when
a
those
listen.
those beats drop and the fights break out and just the ass whooping when the music's playing, it's so good.
Yeah, like I said, both the soundtrack and the score I think are great in this, and there's a mixture of the both of the, obviously in the movie, and I think they just work really well together, and
Oh, they do.
yeah, the beats are bopping, and the scores are emotional and just so good. It's really really good.
Ultimately, what this movie did for me is it made me fall in love with a new character, with not just one new character, with multiple new characters, with
Yeah.
the villain, with the setting, like
Yeah.
with the, and it made me want more. Like I left the theater wanting, I want more Shang-Chi. I can't wait to see more going forward into the future, more Shang-Chi in movies. Like all I could think of was like I can't wait for the more team up movies when he partners up with some other characters and whoops some more ass, like, and then get to watch
Yeah.
Shang-Chi fucking throw down, like.
Which by the way, we see that Shang-Chi is based in San Francisco, right? Guess who else is in San Francisco?
Who?
Your boy Ant-Man.
Oh, that's right.
It would be cool if at some point down the line, maybe we see some Shang-Chi Ant-Man team up action. I think that would be fucking dope.
Fuck yeah.
They're both in the same city. You know, it could happen, bro. I think that'd be sick as shit, dude. And then like maybe eventually down the line when they bring back like Iron Fist into the MCU and whatnot, I think it'd be cool to see those two team up. And
Yeah.
the potential for the future of this stuff is incredible. There's so many things that can happen. I can't believe those people that are like, oh, you know, Marvel, what are they gonna do after Thanos and the Infinity Saga and stuff? Like, dude, we are getting so much cool shit coming, dude. We
Yeah.
have from the stuff we saw in this movie to all the crazy multiverse stuff they're doing in Spider-Man and Doctor Strange 2 to what we have started to see in the Loki series with and the other Disney Plus shows. Like we're building up some sort of secondary team here with, you know, Val recruiting Yelena Belova from Black Widow and recruiting the US agent from you know, Falcon Winter Soldier. And then we have, you know, like I mentioned Loki, we have fucking He Who Remains, aka Kang the Conqueror. Like there's so much shit coming, dude. Like I don't know how people can like not like how could you I
To put it
I don't
simply,
understand those
the
people, man.
future is bright.
It really
Right?
is. It really is. It's man. I'm very excited, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to see all this cool. And then we have so many cool shows and movies coming ahead, dude. Like we have the Hawkeye show in November. And then we have obviously Eternals in November.
Mhm.
And then some point between that, you know, now and then as well, we're getting Miss Marvel. And then in December we have Spider-Man. It's like
I was on the way to the movies.
dude,
I was like, look at all this shit that's coming out. I was in my brain. I was laying it all out. I was like, there's at least one movie, if not multiple movies, I want to see all the way to Christmas. It's like, holy shit.
yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, so much, and then like I'm super looking forward to She-Hulk and Moon Knight, but that's like next year stuff. But anyway, like still we have so much good shit coming ahead. I feel like Shang-Chi, I was talking to Majin about this too last night. It's like this is like this feels, the Shang-Chi feels like the first proper like phase 4 thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
movie, you know, because like Black Widow is like a prequel, right? So that doesn't really, you know, I mean, it's technically a Phase 4 movie, but it's a prequel that takes place in the past, so it's kind of like, you know, whatever. But Shang-Chi is like, here we are, post blip world, you know, which
Yeah.
we were trying to figure out what the timing was, because there's a bit of a timeline. Do you remember when Xia Ling is talking about something and she mentions some like time or something? It's like 2 years, or do you remember the exact time that she talks about,
Oh
that
Lord,
she mentioned
I don't.
something happening?
I don't remember exactly the timeline, no, but I remember
Okay.
mentioning it.
Uh Okay, well, we know that it's again in the sometime in the post Endgame world though. Which Endgame is 5 years after Infinity War. I'm trying to do some mental math here, but I've always been terrible at math. It was never my favorite subject in school, so forgive me.
I sucked at it.
I would it has to be like 2020, 2020. When did it, if Infinity War was what, 2018? If Infinity War was 2018, Endgame is 5 years. That would mean Endgame was like 2023. So that means Shang-Chi is like 2025? 20, or maybe 2023, 24? I don't know. Somewhere between 2023 to 2025 is where I would place Shang-Chi, if I
Yeah.
had to guess. So somewhere along there is what I would say. Yeah, I don't know the exact timeline. It gets a little weird because they say present day in Shang-Chi, but we know that it's not our present day, it's MCU's present day. So it gets a little weird. But anyway. Uh where were we, Josh?
I don't remember. We were talking timelines. But we're
Yeah,
moving on from that.
we were talking
We were
timelines.
talking about excited for the future. It's bright.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff ahead. Okay, so let's talk. Speaking of the future is bright, let's talk about the mid credits and post credit scenes. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
So that's something we haven't mentioned yet. Let's get into that. So we have a mid credit scene, and we have Wong. So okay, rewind. Katie and Shang-Chi are having like some sort of dinner with their friends that we see earlier in the movie. And then Wong opens up a portal asking for Shang-Chi. And he's
Still
like,
have the
yo, is
rings.
Shang-Chi in here?
Yeah.
And then
Shang-Chi, you still got the ring.
he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm here. He's like, it's me. So then he and Katie say their farewells to their friends, and they go through the portal. And on the other side of the portal, we see them, and there's like two hologram figures. One of them is one Dr. Bruce Banner, which, by the way, it is not Professor Hulk, as we previously last saw him, but it is a like significantly older looking Bruce Banner, which still has his arm in a sling.
Yeah.
Like his arm is still jacked up. and he looks through his face and stuff like older. Like he looks like an older Bruce. And again, it's not Professor Hulk, which we last saw him as in Endgame. He is Bruce Banner, which I think this makes sense because he's gonna be in She-Hulk, so you gotta you, they're gonna want to use Mark Ruffalo and not the Hulk CG and stuff all the time. So that adds up. That makes sense. So I'm curious what happened with that. And then the other figure to the left, we have a long-haired Captain Marvel making a return. We saw her in Endgame with shorter hair, and here she is with a little bit longer hair again. And they're talking about the history of the rings. They're saying how it's not Chitauri technology, it's not vibranium, and how these things are the rings are much older than those things that I just mentioned. And also another very important thing that they mentioned is that the rings are sending off a beacon. So my question is, why are they sending off a beacon? Who are they sending it to? And for why? For what reason? So
No,
what
no.
do you think is going on with these rings and the beacon and all that? Because that is very interesting.
I don't have any theories, but it's definitely gonna have something to do with the Eternals, right? Because that's next. Or I feel like it is going to. Maybe it's not. Maybe they'll throw me a curveball, but I felt like it's gonna be like after watching that Eternals trailer, which I'm not gonna talk about in the detail, but um, I definitely think it leads me to think that that has some sort of link to the Eternals, but I don't know. They could be something completely different. What do you think about it? You have any
That would
theories?
not really, because I just like in general I don't like we're getting into Marvel territory where I'm starting to know
Right?
less and less
And
about.
it's exciting to me. I
It is
love it.
exciting, but it's also like I can't really speculate on shit because I don't know, dude. It's new. It's kind of new to me, dude. Like I like it is exciting, like you said, but it's like I can't really talk about stuff like I could like several years ago. Where it's like, all right, we know that this happens and that happens and these characters and that all this stuff. I'm just like Eternals and Shang-Chi and all this stuff is like it's uncharted territory for me. And I'm just gonna be along for the ride, enjoying it like everybody else, because I don't know a whole lot about it. But I am very curious what's going on with that beacon. I I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd be curious for like the comic book readers if they have any ideas of what that potentially could be. Um Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. It'd be cool if it had something to do with the Eternals because we know that's literally the next one coming out in November.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm be very curious to find out what's up with that.
Yeah, they don't ever really explain where the Ten Rings come from, do they? I don't
No, they
remember.
don't.
Like,
They don't. No, they don't.
okay.
I think they're just kind of leaving it open for the future. Be like they can expand on that more. But like I said, they did say that it's not vibranium, it's not Chitauri tech. It's much older than that stuff. So, and which we know because Wenwu has had it for a very long time. I mean, there's literally a point where Wenwu talks to an old dude and he's like, "Yo, dude, shut up. I've lived like a bunch of your lifetimes, young one, or something like that."
Mm-hmm. Young man. It was
Yeah.
funny.
They said something like Wenwu found him in a crater, or maybe he stole them from a tomb.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see where like what the origins of that stuff are. Because again, I can't tell you guys how fucking cool I think those rings are, man. Like that is just seeing them in action throughout the movie is so cool, dude.
Fucking Shang-Chi runs on them some bitches at some points, and it's fucking like crazy. I love that shit.
Like seeing like during going back a little bit, seeing the fight between Wenwu and Shang-Chi when they both have 5 rings each and they're just battling out. It's so dope seeing that, dude. it's a visually like really cool fight. Like, oh man, I loved it. I just talking about all this again really makes me want to rewatch the movie, man. Like I really want to go
Yeah,
watch it again.
I want to watch it again too.
But yeah, that was the first credit scene, which it's also funny because at the end of that, Wong's like, you guys should go get some rest because stuff is about to get a lot more crazier for you guys.
Mhm.
And he's like, we could go get rest, or
Or
we could go
fucking
sing fucking Hotel California at the karaoke, dude.
dude, it was that shit was so funny.
It's so good, dude.
Mm.
That was hilarious.
They got
Seeing
Wong.
Wong just party with him. There's your new trio right there, dude. Wong, Katie, and Shang-Chi, bro. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
like welcome to the circus.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was really good. And then we have the post credit scene, which we see Shaling go back to her father's place, and she says she's gonna go dismantle the rest of the Ten Rings and all that stuff. But uh, as Arnold would say in I lied.
I lied.
She lied. She
Mhm.
lied, and she's taken over and rebuilding it her own
Which
way.
I knew the moment that they said she's dismantling it. I'm like, yeah, she's really dismantling it. She's taking that shit over.
So she's sitting down on the throne, and you know what that reminded me of? Fucking, this is gonna be a spoiler for season 2 of The Mandalorian. But in the post-credit scene of The Mandalorian, when we see Boba Fett sit down on Jabba's
Yeah.
palace on the throne, I'm like, oh shit, I see you rebuilding. I see what's going on here. So it reminded me kind of that, just seeing her sit down on the throne and rebuilding with, now we're gonna have, not only are the dudes gonna be allowed to train, but we got the girls in here too, and we're gonna, we're bringing back the 10 rings, and then yeah, the 10 rings will return. I'm excited about that, dude.
Yeah.
That is super hype, dude. I'm it's hard to like every other thing we see at the MCU, they just continue to outdo themselves, man. They continue to get me more and more hype with each thing they do. I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they continue to just keep doing amazing things one after the other. It's quite phenomenal, I have to say, dude. It's so exciting, man. So exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
those are our two post credit scenes, man. I'm just very excited for the future, man. We have so much good stuff to come, and I cannot wait, dude.
I'm so
But
excited. I'm so excited. Learning new heroes. Fucking. I. I can't wait. I can't wait for more.
yeah, and honestly, like I know we talked a lot about Wenwu, dude. It makes me want to go back and watch some of the other movies that he's been in, because Tony Leung he's great, man.
Yeah.
I want to go back and watch more of the stuff he's been in. And then like I mentioned earlier about the Xiaoling's actress. This is again for her very first acting, like, or not acting, but like movie slash TV credit to be this movie, and she's such a major character, and now she's gonna be the head of the fucking 10 rings going forward. Like, that is insane, dude. I thought she did such a good job in this too, though. Like,
Yeah.
I was watching a video where she was like, there's kind of this stereotype of Asian women in movies and stuff where they kind of have like pieces of their like hair dyed like different colors to show they're like rebellious or whatever. And she's like,
Yeah.
I didn't want my character to fall into that stereotype. So I kind of talked to the director and was like, yo, I don't want my character to have colored hair. Like, I just want to have my hair look normal. Like, I don't need that. And it was just cool seeing her talk about how she kind of like helped shape the character in the movie and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, again, first thing we see her in, and I think she did a fucking fantastic job. So very curious to see what the Marvel has planned with the 10 rings and her, because
Yeah.
it's very exciting, man. Very exciting.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know what else to say.
So again, I love the movie. Score was fantastic. Soundtrack is pretty cool too. There's some good songs in that. I love the choreography. I love the cast. I love our new fucking superhero, Simu Liu. He's a great dude. Uh, even just like outside of all this stuff, like he's a really likable dude. So I yeah, I'm happy for him and everybody in this movie that it's
Yeah.
been doing so well. I'm happy to have contributed to the uh to its box office because
Same.
I think it's a fantastic movie, and I'm glad to hear that it's been doing well at the box office as well. Um, so yeah, I'm just happy for all these guys. So that's for everybody involved in this movie. I can't wait to see what Kevin Feige and Marvel has in store for everybody and for all these characters in the future. I'd love to see a Shang-Chi 2, and I like to see him and some of these other characters start appearing in other places in the MCU as well. Yeah, I don't yeah, I think that's all there is to say, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, man. I loved it. I need to get myself a Shang-Chi Funko Pop or something, bro, because he's great.
Yeah. I can't wait for the future. I'm so excited to watch this movie again. I'm so excited to see
Yeah,
Shang-Chi and
I
other
honestly can't wait
things.
to watch
Like
it again.
I can't wait. I'm dying here. I want to go see it again. uh but yeah, I got nothing more to add on to that. Like Daniel took all the words, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. I think that's gonna do it for our Shang-Chi episode.
Indeed. I'm sure there are things we missed, but there's always a lot to talk about with these things, and so you spend a little bit more time on certain things than you do with others, and you kind of it is what it is. It tends to happen, but I love the movie, so uh yeah.
Yeah, boy. All right.
But yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back next week, uh, where we will be talking about some. I think next week's episode is the Kickstarter one. So if you guys are interested in hearing about some cool Kickstarters and all that kind of stuff, come hang out with us next week for that. Coming up for me on stream. I'm probably gonna be playing some more Lego Incredibles and some other variety things. My birthday's on Friday, so next week, by the time we come back for the next episode, I will be older. I mean, not that we're not older each and every day that we do this, but the numbers for me will change.
Daniel's gonna
my birthday
age
on Friday.
365 days in one day. It's gonna be great.
Yes, it's gonna be awful, dude. Every time I look in the mirror, I see like a shit ton of silver hairs, bro. I'm like, how did I get so many, dude? They're everywhere. I just like mess around with my hair, look in the mirror, and I'm like, fuck, there's a silver hair here, there's a silver hair there, there's like up here. It's like, fuck, dude. So it sucks getting old. Don't get old, everybody. It's awful.
Yeah, don't get old, everybody.
Don't get old.
You start
Anyway,
getting aches and pains. You can't hold your bladders long.
I'm gonna be streaming some things here within the next week. I will be doing a stream on my birthday. So if you want to come hang out on Friday, come hang out. We're gonna be doing something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll hang out. We'll do stuff. Thursday, I will be streaming the PlayStation showcase. So come hang out there too. We're gonna be hanging out with that. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Peace out. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you guys for coming to this episode. Come back next week where we look at some kick-ass Kickstarters. We've never done that before, and it'll be something new. So I'm excited for that. Keep an eye on the channel. You never know when I'll go live if I want to do something. I want to stream again. It's been a little bit. weather's getting a bit more manageable and such here at home, so I can do that. Um, um, if you like the show, make sure to follow us on all the things, all the Twitch, all the. Go check out, subscribe to Daniel's YouTube. Go follow us on Spotify. We're available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, the RSS feed, whatever you need. It's out there. It's for you. So, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Get vaccinated. Go see Shang-Chi. If you haven't, why are you even here watching this episode? All right. Until we see you, take care of each other. Goodbye.